All right, are we live? Is it getting up audio? Yep, sure is. Cool. Okay. Well, there's nobody here right now, so yeah, it says 0. So I guess we'll wait until a couple people show up. I guess I'll go ahead and set my Facebook as well. Posted a brand new. No, I didn't. Stupid Discord. Is anyone here? No. Yeah, my Discord server, I got bots set up in it, and no, that ain't how it's done. I'll have to adjust that later. Still nobody here. That'll change in a minute. Maybe I can boot up things with Facebook. Can I go live on Facebook? Anybody here on YouTube? Nope. Okay. Just wait until at least one person gets here. Come on, scroll down. Scroll down. Thank you. All right. Okay, can I go live? Let me post a video or something. Newsfeed, boost post. No. Anyone here yet? One person's here. Great. I don't know who it is though. Let's wait until some more. No, he left. Great. Okay. Can't really do anything. One person's here again, and he left. Oh, God. Allergies getting the best of me again. How do I go live through Facebook? Whatever. Okay. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and get started then. Hello. Waiting on people to show up at the moment. Got a commission to make though. Let's see. It's a Keyblade. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. But we'll wait for more people to show up before I start working on that. I'm trying to get other things set up right now. Luke the Vault Dweller, how's it going? Not much. Feeling a lot better today than yesterday, but my left eye has been super itchy because of hay fever. So, but hope you stick around. Let's wait for at least like maybe 2 more people or so to show up, and then I'll start working on something, namely that Keyblade over there. I'm also going to try and go live on Facebook if I can. Let's see. Manage ads. No. Page point. No. No, don't drag it. Stupid thing. Okay. Okay. Can I go live? Maybe with my personal page. Or let's try this. Hold up. You still here? Cool. Live. Here we go. Here we go. Hopefully it's as easy as getting set up with YouTube. Because, hey, what's up, MM Kevin? Good to see you, man. Yeah, there's 2. It's telling me there's 1 right now, but looks like there's 2 of you now. That's great. Excuse my left eye. It's been watering all day, just from the irritation. So I have a commission to work on. That's what this stream's going to be for. By the way, this is my camera for the YouTube channel. I'm gonna make this Keyblade for a client, but I'm gonna hold off for the time being until there are a few more people here. But that's what's gonna happen right now. Okay, Facebook ain't letting me do it. Let's try again. Can't detect my camera, even though it's right there. Oh, wait. There we go. Choose where you want to post this. Okay. Settings. Is that where you got to change it? How long does my camera last for time lapse? Well, the battery on it's pretty small. But I do want to get a spare at some point. Now it says 2. But I usually don't have to charge it like throughout a single time-lapse video. So it's hard to say because it's never actually died on me, but it's gotten low. So come on, Facebook. Let me change the okay, screw it. Camera. I did allow it to. Come on. Live. I just use my crappy tablet. Yeah. Better than nothing. I mean, I started out with my smartphone. I still have it. It's this guy right here. It's a Galaxy J7 Prime. Now I just use it for recording audio with a lavalier mic, and works pretty well for that. Otherwise, this is my camera for the video. So yeah. Can I please stop it? Schedule, go live, settings. Dang it. Guess we all have to work with what we have. Yeah. That's how it goes. The more you do it, the more dedicated you are, then the more you're willing to spend money on it. And I've spent a heck of a lot more than I've made through this channel so far. So hope that changes one day, though. All right. Can I'm supposed to. Oh, here we go. Okay. Any newcomers? No, it's just you two still. So far, anyway. Okay. Still trying to get set up through Facebook if I can. Oh, that's before accessing. Integrated webcam. No, I want the Logitech one. There we go. Because the integrated one's a piece of trash on this computer. And this whole computer's not super sophisticated, but it's good enough for what I needed to do. All right, network. Now what? Unable to find camera. All right, I'll just do YouTube then. Okay, close all that. My friend wanted to see some live streaming. I'm gonna text her real quick, and I guess we'll go ahead and get started. Come on, come on. Like how the app just closes all that up. Okay. Streaming now. Okay. So let's get that paperwork. It's already hot in here. Goodness me. I guess I can show you the other things I've got here. So these have just been printed. Well, yesterday. But and I might read. You guys have probably seen my Elder Scroll videos. I might redo that one because when I made that one, like the ley lines in the middle cylinder, I integrated those with this thing, wood burner tool. But nowadays I actually score it with an X-Acto knife and then use a heat gun, and it turns out a lot better than that. Yeah, so I got the pattern for the Elder Scroll right here. It's another commission actually, but I might actually redo the 2 videos on that. And also got yet another OmniRent 12,000, because those things are pretty popular on my Etsy shop. I think I've made like 6 or 7 of those for people so far. And then there's the Keyblade. You guys have already seen it though. But I'm just gonna do the Keyblade today. Who knows? I'll probably stream for a couple hours or all night. We'll see. Well, definitely not all night because I have to work at my day job tomorrow. All right, I guess I'll adjust the camera now so that you guys can. Oh, I'm using the I'm using the integrated camera. Let's see if I can change that. Pop that chat. No. You guys can hear me, right? Okay, good. So it's using my it's using my webcam's microphone to pick up audio, but it's using my laptop's camera to pick up video. That's not what I wanted. I wanted the webcam to do both. I guess I'll just change that some other time. So I'll just move the screen down. Oh, yeah, this is my webcam right here. It's on. It's recording audio. It's not recording video. That's what the integrated camera right here is doing. So right, that's good. Okay. That's not too. Yeah, it's pretty bright. Okay. First time doing this. I'm a rookie. Oh, lol. Okay. Well, you guys can actually see that better, so I'll just turn this off. I'll need it on for recording video though. So yeah, I guess I'll have to do that. Shoot. Ah. It's not super stable. All right, let's readjust that. Okay, here we go. No, Mom, I didn't. Come on, get in there. Sorry, just a second. This is annoying and awkward. Righty tighty. Come on, get in there. All right. Well, you guys will probably see this better when I cut it up anyway. So let's cut up the top part first. As I work like that, where's my exacto? Here it is. So I guess I might as well tell you guys a little bit about how I do this. So I actually make the pattern in Adobe Illustrator, and I just copy the reference image that either the client gives me or I just look it up and trace across that the whole time and capture all the detail that I can. And the more subtle the detail, the thinner the line is. So in a minute, I'll show you up close. And if you look closely, well, then you can see thin lines that represent the detail and thick lines that represent the base structures, which is pretty nice. So I make the whole thing in Adobe Illustrator, and the thing about Keyblades is that they are particularly easy because they are, for the most part, symmetrical down the middle. So you only have to trace one side, and then you just copy paste it and put it on the other side. Then also in Illustrator, you want to make sure that the pattern is at the correct scale. And for Keyblades, I pretty much always make them 1 meter long because it's just easier that way. They all seem to be about the same length as an arming sword. There are some exceptions, like if you've seen my videos on Fabled Glory. That was, I think, about 4 feet long, or 1.2 meters, because that was what the client wanted. So that's what I gave him. But yeah, for the most part, they're just a meter in total length, excluding the keychain. So once it's at scale, then you save it as a PDF file, and then you load it up in Adobe InDesign. And then you divide it up so that you don't have to print it all on a single piece of poster paper, because I've learned that because I actually go to office supply stores to print my stuff, because I don't really have a printer at home, at least not one that's big enough to print this type of paper, because this is 11 by 17, not 8.5 by 11, which is regular copy paper size. So to get it on this size paper, well, or if you print it on poster paper, office supply stores will typically charge you about $20 for something like that, regardless of how much ink is used and whether or not it's black and white or color. So if I'm just printing a super thin pattern like this, or just a giant image, costs the same, and it's kind of ridiculous in my opinion, but whatever. So instead, I take it to Adobe InDesign and divide it up into 11 by 17 pages, and try to be as efficient with all the space as possible. And then I print them all out, and usually that costs about $2 to do instead of $20. So you save a lot of money doing it like that. Now, if you had your own printer, you'd save even more in the long run. I mean, yeah, printers and ink are expensive, but the price per page is what matters. So yeah, that's what I do. That's how I get all these, and that's how I've been doing it for the past, I think, 2.5 years since I started in October 2016. I'm still cutting up the head of this Keyblade here. This is the Starlight Keyblade, if memory serves. And yeah, it's a commission for a client. I think her name is Joanna. I forget what state she lives in, though. Although she probably would prefer I didn't tell you guys that. Looks like it's just still the two of you right now. It's nice to be back to. It's nice to get back to work, because not only did I have to move myself recently into the house I'm in right now, which is actually my grandmother's house, but she lives up in the Seattle area right now. I live in Portland, but I actually this week had to help my family move, because I used to live with them, and they didn't start moving until, well, last week, and they moved down to Sacramento just a few days ago, and I had to help them with that, and that ate up a lot of time. Still, though, I should be releasing the tutorial for, I think, Heirs of Scarlet Sword pretty soon. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after. I don't know. Right. Here's the head. Got that piece cut out. Still got to do this top piece, though, right here. Sometimes I keep the scrap pieces. Sometimes I don't. Just depends on whether they're worth keeping, because sometimes you want to use the scrap pieces of paper for what's it called, for hand drawing patterns. But in this case, it's too small. Where's my garbage? Here it is. All right. We got any conversation yet? Hey, George, what's up? Long time no talk, huh? For those of you who don't know, I know George personally. I went to school with him a number of years back. Evening, Mr. Quantum. Watching while playing Dark Souls. Good choice. That's a great game. It's too hard for me, though. All right. Get this webcam. Come on, adjust. All right. This being my first live stream, yeah, forgive the crappy audio or video quality. I'm using my laptop integrated camera to record. I want to use my webcam to record, but I'm only using my webcam to record the audio right now. So I will change that next time. Got another one here. Teacup. Can you wish my cousin Nick Gurr a happy birthday? Would mean a lot. Really? Okay. Well, Nick Gurr, I don't really know you personally, but I wish you a happy birthday, man. Hola, David. All I have to say is I admire your work ethic. Yeah, Thanks, I appreciate it. I admire yours too. I occasionally see your drawings on Facebook, and yeah, they're pretty admirable. Very nicely done. Sports mixes. N-word, racist. You're racist. All right, I'm gonna keep cutting this up. Might as well turn the light on. There we go. So, for those of you who just joined, because I think only 2 of you were here from the beginning of the stream anyway, I'm working on a commission right now for a client. It's namely a Keyblade, and this is the tip of it. I'm cutting up the pattern right now. I just printed it yesterday, and that's what this stream's going to be. And all the meanwhile, I'll be recording with my camera here for the YouTube video. And yeah, and also this being my first stream, I'm very inexperienced with this. So, but I know the one thing that you have to do is just keep talking to keep your viewers entertained. Even though a bright light like this is not the most pleasant thing to look at. So, yeah, I print them at the office supply store, and usually the whole job costs about $2. So you save a lot of money doing that. And then you just cut them up, because I've got 2 pieces now. So you just cut them up and tape them together, well, with Scotch tape. You look sexy. Nobody's ever told me that before. Where are you from? That's a long story. I was born here in Portland, and I live here in Portland right now, Portland, Oregon. And, well, I used to live in Kelso, Washington, which is about an hour drive north of here. Lived there for a year. I was born here in Portland and lived here for like the first, I think, 9 years of my life. And the house I'm in right now is my grandmother's house, and we came here quite a lot. Then, yeah, lived in Kelso for a year. And then my father got laid off from his job, and that was also at the peak of the Bush recession. So there was no work available. He had to go on unemployment for a couple months. But and since work was nowhere to be found, he had to take it somewhere. And his 3 offers were in Anchorage, Alaska, San Francisco, and Champaign, Illinois. And he took the Illinois job. And so we lived out there for, I think, a year and a half. And I still talk with people I've met back there every so often. And then in the middle of the school year, when I was, I think, a 7th grader, we moved to Chico, California. Well, specifically Magalia, but the area around Chico. And we lived in 3 different houses in the 2 years we were there. So it was pretty hectic. We also lived in Paradise, California for about a year. And that was the town that got burnt down by the campfire last November. And I consider myself pretty lucky, because the only reason we moved from California to the next place, which was Seattle, Washington, that was actually by choice, because pretty much every move our family has done has been because of my father's work. But only that one time was it by choice, because my grandfather passed away in 2013. And since then, my dad's been wanting to live closer to Portland, where my grandmother lives. And she lives in Seattle now. She used to live in this house. But yeah, so we lived in Chico for 2 years. And then we lived in Bothell, Washington, which is around the Seattle area, for 2 years. And I graduated high school up there. And then after I graduated, we moved back down here to Portland. And we've been here for, well, I've been here for a little over 3 years. My family just moved to Sacramento, California, like not even a week ago. So yeah, to answer your question, Teacup, that's where I'm from, all over the place. House address, I ain't giving that to you. No way in hell. I'm in Portland, Oregon. I'll tell you that much, but no way. I ain't telling you my house address. Yeah, I know he's trolling. Oh, damn, I didn't know you moved and lived in so many places. Yeah, I don't really, I haven't been able to tell my life story a whole lot. And, well, I would like to do a Draw My Life at some point using Tilt Brush VR instead of the classic, like, dry erase mark and whiteboard. But, yeah. Kai Ike. Okay, well, you use the same text, but Kai Ike, whoever you are, I wish you a happy birthday too, man. All right, that's enough talking. Let's get to work, shall we? Where's my Scotch tape? Here somewhere. I still got boxes all over the place because I had. Oh, here it is. It's up here. Nope, don't fall. That's my epoxy. Yeah, this one's used. Man, I need to take a shower. Are you here yet, Christine? No. She's probably partying with somebody right now. She's not my girlfriend, by the way. She's my best friend. Okay. Yeah, I'm still suffering from a bit of hay fever right now. So if you see me like sniffling or rubbing my face, that's why. Because I'm all wet from God knows what. So yeah, tape that to that. Somebody just walked across the patio there. Okay. It says 2 people, but I don't think there are only 2 of you here right now. Anyway, got that taped together. So now we got to do the haft. So let's set that aside. Go ahead and adjust the camera so you guys can see what I'm doing. Good? Yes. All right. That's aluminum foil. I think I have this because sometimes I need to use Warbler. Although my heat gun, wherever it is, I don't know where it is right now, it actually broke. And I can't really use Warbler right now. Although I do have a blowtorch. Just got to be careful with this. But yeah, heat gun. If you've got a heat gun, use that for Warbler. Don't use a blowtorch. Blowtorches work, but definitely not the safest choice. All right, so cutting up the haft and the bottom of the hilt now. Guess I'll turn this off so you guys can see better. Don't need to record any of this because I always skip over the patterns in the YouTube videos. So yeah, cut that. Oh yeah, and when I'm dividing the patterns up in Adobe Illustrator, not Illustrator, InDesign, I add some dotted lines here and there, so I know where to cut it and divide it up. Dad's texting me. Because if I don't know where to cut it, then I have to guess, and that can lead to inaccuracies, and that's no fun, right? Cut that. So cosplay is definitely a learn-as-you-go experience, and getting started is definitely the hardest part. And believe me, I was pretty stuck at first, too. And that's never a fun place to be, right? So the more you do it, and I've been doing it for about 2.5 years now, the more you do it, the more you learn, and the more practice you get with various techniques, the better you get overall. One of my coworkers has been cosplaying for 10 years, and the stuff that she makes nowadays is pretty outstandingly good, in my opinion. So I'm still cutting up the hilt here. Going to take a while because this thing's fairly large, even though it's only 1 meter long. But you know, Keyblades are pretty clunky weapons. Luckily for me, I've made the Kingdom Key before. In fact, I've made some videos on that. If you guys want to go see it, if you haven't already, I imagine those of you who are here right now probably have, though. But yeah, and that was a pretty satisfying build. And a long time coming too, because Lord knows how popular Kingdom Hearts is, especially with the 3rd installment having been released fairly recently. It's been a couple months now, but yeah. I'm surprised how well my Shinnok's Amulet video did. I mean, it didn't go viral like I was hoping it would do, but it's sitting at about 500 views right now, which is more than most of my videos. Although some of my videos have literally thousands of views, including that one on Imperious by Shadiversity. And speaking of Shadiversity, his new intro is pretty awesome because he's been using that old one for quite a long time. And yeah, if you don't really know how to 3D animate, that's the best you can do, right? Okay, that's the hilt cut up. Well, the bottom half of it. All right. Any new chats for me to reply to? I remember when you first started doing cosplay, or when I first started doing cosplay, melted some plastic into my hand. Lesson learned, I guess. Ouch. Yeah. Yeah, when I first started using Warbler, I burnt my fingers quite a lot just touching it because it conducts so much heat, which makes it kind of a pain in the butt to work with. But once you've got it in place, it's pretty nice. I remember that viral video of yours. Well, none of my videos have gone viral yet. I consider viral to be at least, I guess, 500,000 views. Because my most popular video right now is the Imperious time lapse, and that's sitting at about 11,000 views right now, which is pretty awesome. That's a heck of a lot more than all my other videos. But yeah, eventually I would like to make a video that gets millions of views. That would be awesome. And I've got some opportunities coming up for that. So yeah, I think Halo Infinite is coming out in 2020, late 2020, so that's a ways away. But I would like to make something from Halo, probably the battle rifle, because it's the most recognizable by those who are Halo fans. Although the energy sword is also very easily recognizable and iconic. I would really like to make the needle rifle from Halo Reach, because that's just my favorite weapon from the Halo series, and put some LED lights in it too to make it glow. That'd be great. And with how popular Keanu Reeves is right now, whenever I guess Cyberpunk 2077 comes out, I'll definitely make something from that too. I know in my 700 sub special, I said I was going to do Stormbreaker axe from Avengers, but I think I changed my mind. I'm probably going to actually do Thanos's double-bladed sword instead, because I've seen tons of videos. Well, I've not seen them, but I've noticed that there are quite a lot of videos of people making Stormbreaker, but there's only like a couple of the double-bladed swords. So yeah, I might do that. But yeah, the ultimate goal for this channel is to make it a career. So, you know, got to be smart about these things and strike while the iron's hot. Much excitement for the future, dude. Yeah, very much so. And I'm pretty anxious about it because I've already tried making videos go viral, like when I did Shinnok's Amulet shortly after Mortal Kombat 11 came out. But, well, that didn't. I mean, it got more views than most of my videos did, but it didn't do as well as I was hoping it would. Odin Makes did a video on the dope. Did he? I haven't seen that. I know he did the Infinity Gauntlets, and he did do the, I think he made Stormbreaker too. Yeah, let me look up Odin Makes. Was it recent? Oh, he's sitting at, oh yeah, he did. That was a month ago. And wow, it cracked, it almost got 1 million. It's sitting at 731,000 views. Well, that's pretty enlightening. I must have missed that. But I will probably do that instead of Stormbreaker. Who knows? Right. So I got the bottom half of the hilt cut up here. Let's turn that off. And still got the top right here. So now it's just the top half of the hilt, which is this right here. So let's get these cut up pieces out of the way. All right. So yeah, and I've also been thinking of like doing collaborations with other YouTubers. That could be sooner than I'm expecting it to, but I would like to at some point down the road. Like, I don't know if any of you know Michelle Carre, but I just recently discovered her channel. I was actually looking up videos on what it's like to be in the Marine Corps because my brother is taking off for boot camp to join the National Guard in a couple weeks. And also my father was in the Army when he was my age. And I think, yeah, my grandfather was, he's dead now, but he was in the Navy and he fought in the Korean War. So I was just curious and wanted to look it up, what it's like to train in the Marine Corps. And then I came across Michelle Carey's channel because she actually tried it out for a couple of days. Then I checked out some more of her content, and it turns out that she likes to step out of her comfort zone a lot and try new things. And I think the most recent video of hers was she trained to dress and act like a clown in a circus. So I think it would be pretty neat if I did a collaboration with her one of these days. Probably like maybe dressing her up as a Spartan from Halo when Infinite comes out, and using the Halo Reach aesthetic because, well, it's the best in my opinion. And Reach definitely offers the most customization out of all the other Halo games, except maybe 5, but 5 uses a lot of recycled stuff, whereas Reach does not. So yeah, or maybe we can like do a live cast and make a copy of her head, something like that. So yeah, collaborations are definitely the way to go right now, and also reaching out to like blogs and getting things featured. I haven't done any of that recently though, because just been so occupied with everything else. But I would like to get on with that at some point. And well, that thing with Shadiversity, he hasn't done his shout out for me yet, but it's going to happen any day now. I talked to him a couple weeks ago, and he said it's going to take less than a month from that point. And well, that was 2 weeks ago, so it could happen this week. It could happen next week. So fingers crossed, because I believe that's going to be the channel's kickoff and set the foundation for the whole thing. Man, I had no idea I could talk so much. I'm a very introverted person, and I don't really engage in conversation with people a whole lot unless it's for business purposes, but I guess this is for business purposes. Okay, that's done. I'll keep this one. That's the top half of the hilt right there. So now we've got to just tape all these together. It's smart making relevant projects to appeal to a crowded, hyped for that kind of content. Yeah, you always want to strike when the iron's hot. A lot of people, like I think Odin Makes did the Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah, I'm positive he did, and I think that's his most popular video. It's got about 7 million views right now, and well, I think he released that just a couple weeks after Infinity War came out last year. So yeah. That's what I'm trying to do as well with other things. Might be a little too late to do an Avengers Endgame build, but gotta try, right? Plus, that sword looks pretty awesome anyway, so I'd like to do it anyway. So, yeah. Anything else? Nope, that looks like it's all. All right. Okay, come on, camera. Stay upright. Not that this one matters. This is just recording audio. Actually, I'll just set this over here. Sorry about that distortion. Okay. Now I just got to tape all these together, and then we can get started. I think I have a PV. Yeah, I've got it. It's sitting over there. This garage is a very... Oh, I got to cut the star out. This garage is very disorganized right now because I just kind of crammed all my stuff in here. So we'd have to tidy it up at some point. Christine, are you here yet? You've been wanting to see this stream for a while. No, she ain't. Man. Okay. It's pretty amazing that I'm already making over $100 a month just from Patreon. I think I have 6 patrons right now. That's pretty unbelievable, especially for someone, for a channel my size. I mean, I'm still less than 1,000. Let's my buddy from Unwanted Commentary, I don't know his first name, but he has his own YouTube channel as well, and he's sitting at about 12,000 subscribers right now, and I think he's making just a little less than me from Patreon. So that's saying something, isn't it? Although he's been streaming a lot lately, streaming games, particularly Halo. I did watch his Halo 4 stream, although personally I don't really care for Halo 4. Reach is definitely the best one in my opinion. All the other ones are good, don't get me wrong, but Reach is definitely the best one. I don't know why. I think the main reason people dislike that game, or the main thing that people dislike about that game, is the reticle bloom and the armor lock. Although those things don't really bother me personally, because armor lock just kind of just delays the inevitable. It rarely actually helps you. It just stops things. So it's like, you're being a wuss. It ain't gonna help you, pal. I think is this misaligned? Hold up. For sure, what? Do you agree with me? Reach is the best, or do you agree that Bloom and Armor Lock are the really negative things about Reach? Okay, tape that right there. Okay, good. Reach is the best. Yes, yes, it is. All right, tape the haft to the top. Now it's just got to do the hilt. Allow me to ask you a question. Was Reach your first Halo game? Because it was for me. I've played all of them except ODST, and I still like Reach the best, despite how good 3, 2, and Combat Evolved are. But they weren't my first games. Like they were for a lot of Halo fans, like the Act Man, which I'm hoping to also do a collaboration with one of these days. And I did reach out to him. He just hasn't responded. Guess he's not interested. That's okay though. There's plenty of other Halo YouTubers out there that are opportune people to collab with. So yeah. I've never used so much Scotch tape in my life. And that's just what this thing is. Oh, wait, did I misalign that? No, that's good. My mother was always the one who always needed the Scotch tape, but now it's me. You got to tape these patterns together, unless you want to spend 20 bucks to get a single pattern printed on poster paper, and that's no fun. It's a waste. If I wanted to spend 20 bucks, I would have just gotten a sheet of foam. Okay. Two was my, oh, wait, I should probably adjust this. Boom. Okay. 2 was my first, 3 was legendary for multiplayer. Yeah. Reach almost perfected it. Yeah, I agree. 3's multiplayer was very good, and definitely expanded on what 2 had. Reach did take away some things, like a bunch of weapons and vehicles, but it makes sense because most of what was taken away were all brute technology stuff, and well, the brutes weren't really the main enemy in Reach. The Covenant was, so it made sense. It was a bummer for some people, but not really for me. And Reach's Forge and custom games were definitely top notch out of all the games. Halo 3 was my first Halo game, but I still love Reach. Yeah. And I do like ODST. I would like to play ODST very much. I know that Halo, the MCC, is coming to PC pretty soon, and I think they're starting with Reach, and I'm very excited about that. And I'll maybe even record some gameplay footage of it and put it here on YouTube. And later down the road, for my, I don't know if I'm going to do it for my patrons, just patrons, or everybody that's a subscriber, but I want to host custom game nights with you guys. And Halo Reach is definitely a game that we can play. I made so many Forge maps in Halo Reach when I was in middle school, and one of my favorites was one I called Carrier Control, and it was a Tori's map with attack and defense. It wasn't domination. It was the attacking team had to capture 5 points, and once one was captured, it was permanently captured. And yeah, the attacking team had to take over an aircraft carrier, and the aircraft carrier had 4 Banshees on it, and Lord knows how fun that was, because in Reach's multiplayer, you don't get a whole lot of opportunities to dogfight, but in that game you did. And I played that with friends that I had been frequently in contact with at the time. I was living in California, And yeah, that was awesome. So when Reach comes out on PC, I will probably record gameplay footage of the campaign, and then later down the road, I'll reconstruct those Forge maps and maybe improve on them a bit from the versions I have on my 360, and then custom game night time. So in the time being, I've got the whole thing taped together now. So there's the tip, or the bit, and there's the hilt. It's all put together now. Now we have to dissect it again. But let me grab my PVC pipe. I still got one over there. It's about 5 feet long. Might be, excuse me. Might be too big though. This one is it's 1 1/4 inches in diameter. Oh, it's perfect. Sweet. Okay. Yeah. So, where do I need to cut that at? I have a piece of tape measuring equipment here somewhere. It's saying we've got 3 people, but I think there's more than that right now. Oh, wait, I just got the thing here. So, stops right about here. Okay. Well, we'll do the bit first, this star thing, and work our way down. Because usually when I make weapons that are melee weapons, I like to work from the top down. For the most part, I think the only time I started with the hilt was with Imperius, Shadowversity's sword. And that was just because I happened to need to 3D print the guard, because it was just way too intricate to do with any other material except. But I'm also not a blacksmith, so although later down the road, when my subscriber count is higher, and I would like to expand my horizons, try new things, do new challenges, and learn how to blacksmith. I think that would be awesome. And not just blacksmithing, but carpentry and masonry too, possibly. And maybe even doing makeup for cosplay purposes. So stuff like that. So got the star right here. Oh, I forgot to record with my camera. Shoot. Yeah, okay. So yeah, well, I'm streaming right now, obviously, but I also need to record for the YouTube videos. So, and that's what this camera right here is for. It's sitting on a tripod. Anyway, Halo multiplayer memories. Now this is the content I sub for. Yeah, I'll probably, like, whenever I get around to recording the Reach campaign on PC, I'll be like, oh, I remember when I did this and stuff like that. And yeah, I'll definitely show off those Forge maps too. And who can forget Forge? Yeah, exactly. Especially in Reach. Reach had the absolute best Forge. I mean, 5's Forge is pretty good too, and 3's is pretty good. But Reach, perfect, absolutely perfect. Where did I cut that? I have no idea. Let's take that back together, because yeah, I need to record for the YouTube video. Okay. Boom. All right. And we'll cut that right back apart in a second. Okay. I'm going to turn the light on and record with my camera, so I'm going to be silent for a minute, even though I don't really play the audio from in the workshop in my videos. But yeah, just a second. Oh, I need to cut that diamond out too. Yeah, with like custom game nights that I want to do with you guys later down the road, or with just the patrons, I don't know yet. Yeah, Halo Reach is definitely one we can play. Possibly Minecraft, like an ultra hardcore, like free for all. I guess you could call it battle royale, Minecraft style. I'm not really interested in Fortnite though, because of the stereotype it has surrounding children. Plus, it's just way too chaotic for me. I like slow-paced games, for the most part, anyway. Like, the one exception I can think of off the top of my head is Dynasty Warriors. That's definitely a fast-paced game, and I very much enjoy that, as repetitive as it is, and how terribly acted it is. There's just something about it. Anyway, let's get my camera set up for the YouTube video. And okay, oh, trash can's in the way. Okay, center that on the mat. And I don't want this at 4K. I want that at 28 megapixels, 60 frames. Okay, and correct the white. Perfect. And autofocus. Good. Record. So, here. Come on. There we go. All right, you got the footage. Though you guys will not hear anything, I'll just play music over it. So in the time lapse, in the tutorial, I'll be talking to the camera, obviously. Where's my X-Acto knife? Cut that. Cut that. Okay. Now I'll put this aside. Do the star first. Now, do I really care what thickness this is? Probably 2 layers, right? That's how I think I want it to be. Because it can be the same thickness as the hilt, which will also be 2 layers of 10mm foam, that is. But I want it to be, yeah, I guess 2 layers is fine. All right. I don't think I have any foam scraps anymore, so I have to use a brand new roll. And I got 2 of them. There goes my epoxy. Got 2 of them right here. And oh, it's still in here. Thanks, camera. So, yeah, we'll undo this, and we'll get to work. And damn, it feels good to be back at work with this stuff. After all these days of not doing anything except making some videos, making stories for Amino, and helping the fam move. That was a hell of a task. We had to do a freaking dump run. My brother had a blast getting rid of everything because we literally just tossed it out of the moving truck. That was, I think, last Thursday. Okay. So there's my Sharpie. Got my star. Okay, and looks like, so star's got bevels on it. You can kind of see these thin lines here. So I don't really know how we're going to do that right now. And it's actually flat at the very edge here in the middle. I also might need to reinforce the middle either with a piece of steel, or I might just wrap the whole thing in Warbler, which is a lot more expensive to do it like that. But I don't know. Having to bend the metal like that will not only add weight to it, but it'll be kind of a pain in the butt to bend it in this shape. So, but I'll think about that later. For now, let's just cut it up. Let me get the masking tape off this foam real quick, because that's how TNT Cosplay likes to do their foam, especially if you order 2 rolls of it at the same time. Come on, cut, get off. All right, let me get my knife. So you guys can see better. Okay, had to poke into the foam a little bit there. That's okay. I'll just make sure that that goes on the inside of whatever I'm stacking together. Oh, and I think you guys who are concerned about my breathing will feel a little bit of relief from this. I got myself a respirator not too long ago. I actually originally got this for my hay fever, and it's pretty effective at preventing it. But you also kind of need one when you're like using a Dremel or spray painting stuff, because yeah, that stuff is going to screw up your lungs. And in the case of Plasti Dip, do I have any? Because if I don't, I need to get some. Yeah, I got a can right here. Although I don't think I'll actually finish the construction tonight. Who knows? But yeah, this stuff, as useful as it is for cosplay, it gives you a really bad headache if you breathe too much of it, and it makes you dizzy too, and that's no fun. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and lay this on the tabletop here, or the workbench. Oh, more masking tape. And just so you guys can see, there we go. All right. Oh, I need to record for the camera. Duh. That's going to be the most easily forgetful thing, because I'm not very good at multitasking. So I'm doing the stream, and I'm doing this with you, and I'm recording the video. How long have we been streaming for? Almost an hour. Jeez. It doesn't feel like it's been an hour. It feels like it's been 20 minutes. Anyway, turn the camera on. Boom. Already in position. Okay, focus. Focus. Come on. I love this camera, but sometimes it's a pain in the butt. All right. Okay. There we go. That was as good as the battery. Yeah, it's full right now. All right, cool. All right, set that aside. Get it on the phone. Or actually, no. Let's cut squares and then just cut those off of the sheet. So it looks like. Can I? Okay, 9 by 9.5 inches. Okay. So we'll do the 9.5 by the short length of the thing. So 9.5 times 2 is 19. Where's my ruler? Here it is. It only goes up to 18, but that's okay. And then the other half will be just 9. And we'll use up this screwed up edge because whatever. It's a star, so I don't really need to use all this edge. Okay. Unroll it a little bit. This is brand new. I haven't even used any of this foam yet. Might as well have unpacked it yesterday, or just a minute ago, but it's been sitting on the shelf for a while. Okay, so 9.5 right there. Oops, touching the laptop. Get off. Okay. 9.5 right there. That's just enough. Perfect. All right, now 9 on the long side. This is always fun because this sheet, I think in total, is 6 feet long. So sometimes it's a pain to work with when you need to mark a certain length, but whatever. Also make sure it's perpendicular. Okay, gotta get it over here too. And I guess I can turn this off so you guys can see a little better. Assuming you're watching, how many? It says 1 right now. That's okay. I don't expect a huge audience right now. Okay. And mark it all. Cross like that. That doesn't look straight to me. Yo, peace out, Quantum. I look forward to your uploads. Later, Joe. Yeah, if you're still here, Joe, I just finished recording for the Urza Scarlet Sword tutorial. It's just a matter of editing right now, which can sometimes take 4 hours, sometimes 8 hours. But that's what's coming next. I have to work my day job tomorrow. So I might upload it tomorrow or the day after. So yeah, later, man. All right, let's cut this up. So we got their 9.5 by 9s. And right on the Sharpie mark, not next to it, but right in the middle of it. Yeah, this is not straight. Okay, we'll just cut it right here like this then. Okay. You know, when I started this stream, I was just kind of here goes nothing attitude, but looks like there are some things I have to adjust, like the camera. Apparently editing can be a yeah, it can be, yeah. Good night, man. Anyway, so where's my ruler? Here it is. Okay, cut that right down the middle. Boom. All right, now let's copy the pattern of the star, just like that. Okay. Might be a good idea to pin this down, especially since the foam is still curved. Just over an hour now. Cool. Here it is. Here's my pins. So yeah, pin all the limbs of the star like so. Go. And I guess I'll do the same for the other one. So yeah, now just copy it all like this. But yeah, it's just editing now and a little bit of recording left, actually, now that I think about it. So yeah, either tomorrow or the day after. Oh, I still need to put the middle star in. Whoops. Then after that, I'll probably, because by the time I finish that, I'll probably be done with the construction of this here Keyblade. So the next video after that will possibly be the time-lapse for this. I also have an Elder Scroll to make because this Keyblade and that Elder Scroll are both on a time crunch. I have to get them shipped before like the first week of July, I think. So those are #1 priority right now. But after that, I will probably start work on Thanos' sword. And then after that, more commissions that I haven't made videos on yet. Because I have like 10 commissions in the queue right now. And yeah, it takes it takes time, and it's a little stressful to have that many because you know all your clients are waiting. And I've shipped out commissions literally half a year after they've been ordered. So I want to try and close the commission list down as much as I can, while also focusing on the channel. And doing all that takes time, and well, having to work a day job also takes time. So yeah, got a lot on my plate right now, but I am determined, I am committed, and I make sure it all happens. And yeah. Okay, there's the second one. Oh, I still got to do the middle. Times like this where I wish I had a scroll saw, but I don't have one right now. I have a bandsaw. It's not good for cutting holes in the middle of things. It's only good for cutting the outside of things. Granted, it's still extremely useful, especially for thick pieces, but yeah, whatever. All right, let's unpin that. Okay, it's got the 2 star pieces right there. I just got to cut them up and glue them together. And just in case I decide to put a metal rod inside, I'll also cut a socket out for the rod to fit in. I don't think I have any metal right now that's thin enough to go in this. But yeah. So let's cut this up now. Love my box knife. Oh, I gotta record for the YouTube video. Just a second. Come on, focus, focus, focus. Come on, come on. Got it. Turn that off. All right. Now I just got to cut this up, which I also have to record. Just a couple shots, though. One of starting the cut and one of finishing it. Nothing special. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. You want to cut on the edge of the Sharpie mark, not through the middle of it, because you trace this off a pattern instead of by measurements. You also want to try and avoid cutting into the actual star as much as you can. Because if you do, that damages the prop. That's no fun. Okay. Okay, this got to be careful with. Got it. Let's see, Joanna, the name of the client that this Keyblade is for. It's been waiting a while now. Definitely like to get this to her, but I've got so many commissions I need to do that have all probably been waiting months now. So I'd like to get all that out of the way as much as I can. But this is definitely priority because this is on a time crunch, unlike the other ones. I mean, yeah, I want to get those out too, but this actually has a due date as well as another Elder Scroll. And luckily for me, the Elder Scroll is only 4 feet long instead of the 5-foot one, which I made first time. Although you guys haven't seen that unless you've seen my Facebook page and my Daedric armor. I am wearing a 5-foot Elder Scroll, and I still have it. It's upstairs. It's kind of in pieces right now, though, because it's real garbage. And maybe at some point I'll make a video of self-loathing because of how trash that Elder Scroll is. But yeah, so making a 4-foot one is a heck of a lot easier than making a 5-foot one, which explains why I charge $75 less for a 4-foot than a 5-foot one. So I got to get this Keyblade and that Elder Scroll done by mid-July. It's mid-June right now, so I've got a month. But I also have to take into factor the shipping delivery time. So I'm going to, if I can, try to get both of them finished this week, possibly next week. And then I'll ship them out when I get my paycheck on the 28th. Because I'm a little broke right now. But when July rolls around, then I'll be in pretty good shape because that's when I get the Patreon money. Okay, there's the first star. So all these foam scraps are a little too small to keep, so I'll just toss them. Now I got to do the middle. That's fun. Now this one I'm going to start with the X-Acto knife because it's more precise. And cutting in the middle of foam with a box knife, and it damages the prop a little bit sometimes because of the fact that it kind of pushes the foam a little bit, and you don't really want that. So to start off, you want to kind of score it with the X-Acto knife all the way around, and then use the box cutter to do the deep cuts. Yeah, and I wonder how things will change for me in the channel when Shadiversity actually does his shout out for me, because I'm hoping that gets me at tens of thousands of subscribers, and it could, because he's sitting at about, I think, 650,000 subscribers right now. So even if like 10% of his viewers, of his subscribers, subscribe to me, well, 10% of 650,000 is 65,000, and that is quite a lot to start with. Or maybe it could be just a few thousand, and even so, that'd be great, because you need 1,000 to monetize your videos, although ad revenue is pretty ineffective for making money, and I'm considering not even doing it at all, so I don't get mixed up with the drama and everything. Because when you do a YouTube channel, you want to try and think of it from a business perspective, not really just from YouTube. and tunnel visioning like that. That's why you do Patreon. That's why you do channel merch. That's why you do information products, and the join feature that YouTube has now, and stuff like that. Okay, almost done cutting the middle of this. I decided to just go ahead and do the X-Acto knife for the whole thing because I'm lazy. But yeah, try to cut that and that. I just hope I'm not damaging the prop as I'm doing this. It doesn't hurt to do it again if I need to. Okay, cut there and there. Boom. All right, is it done? Yeah, almost. Missed a spot. Missed another spot. There we go. That's all cut out. Cool. I should record for the video too. So put that back and just record punching it out like that. And then let's record from this side over here. Okay. Come on, focus. Thank you. Actually, I want to zoom a little bit. Zoom, zoom, right there. Focus. Okay. Good. Moment captured. Any new chats? Nope. All right. Looks like I've only got one person watching right now. That's okay. Okay, I can throw this star away. Too small to be used for anything else. Anyway, I was talking about, what was I talking about? Yeah, making things. That Elder Scroll. Oops, someone texted me. You passed out? Okay. Well, I'm still streaming. Come on and join. I really need to figure out how to get this to work on Facebook too. But since this is my first stream, I guess that's not a big deal, is it? Okay. Now I got another one to cut up. Yay. Yeah, I want to cut from the tips, not the middle. And cut on the edges. What now, Dad? Did you text your... Yeah, no. I know it's Father's Day, but I don't want to do it right now. Okay. Any newcomers? There you are, Christine. Been waiting for you. I've been streaming for about an hour now. And looks like it's 2 people right now. We were up to like 5 or 6 at one point. But, I mean, can't really complain too much. Since this is my first stream and I'm sitting at about just under 800 subs. That'll change at some point, though. And I'm looking forward to that very much. So I'm probably going to be doing streams every Sunday from now on, because at my day job, I'm the place I work at is closed on Sundays, and well, I do go to church on Sunday mornings because I am a Christian, but that's Sunday mornings. It's 10:30 at night right now. So yeah, I think this is going to become a weekly tradition. So who knows? Maybe we'll bump it up to 3 times a week. You know, recording of the stream, and then a time lapse, and then a tutorial. Sounds sweet to me. And it's just a matter of getting the schedule right, because I have to take into consideration my day job. I have to take into consideration commissions that, well, already have YouTube videos of them. And yeah, because sometimes when you have a commission and you've already made a video on it, well, that kind of complicates things a little bit, doesn't it? Except the OmniWrench 12,000, because that was my first pair of YouTube videos, and I actually made the tutorial private because it's cringy to the point where I actually don't want it. Because yeah, my videos are supposed to be cringy, but only for humorous effect. whereas that tutorial was cringy negatively. So I didn't delete it. I just made it private, and at some point I will make it, and that will probably be the same with a bunch of other of my older videos, like say with the Splinter Strike, because when I made the tutorial for that, I tried doing like a cloning thing, but some of the dialogue I said was also cringy in a negative way. So I don't know, but I also don't like give a crap about Fortnite, so I might just leave it. Who knows? All right, let's just adjust this so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm making a commission right now. I'm doing the Starlight Keyblade for a girl named Joanna, and I have to. And she needs to have it at her doorstep by I think July 19th, which coincidentally was the day of my the one and only time I've been to a concert, and it was with Rush. But whatever. And I also have to finish an Elder Scroll by around the same time. So I'm going to try and get both those finished either this week or next week, all the while uploading stories to Amino, and of course videos to YouTube. Fun stuff. And then of course you got to take into consideration the day job. Yeah. All very overwhelming indeed. Better get used to it, I guess, though, right? All right, now I'm cutting up the middle of the second piece. I've already got the first one right here. Got to do two of them. Just cutting up the middle with an X-Acto knife. More precise, less likely to damage the thing when you're cutting up in the middle like this. Anyway, I'm going to opt out for the night. I hope the prop works out the way you want. Good night, sir. Night, MM Kevin. Always nice to have you here, man. Good night, sir. Look forward to the tutorial coming tomorrow or the day after. We will see. Depends on how long the editing process takes, which is very unpredictable. I've made tutorials in 2 hours. Some of them have taken 10 hours. We shall see. So, oh, we got 3 people right now. Sweet. It's been just 1 or 2 so far. Rayus hashtag Corvo Middlearo. Hello. How you doing, man? Or I don't know your gender, but yeah, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Been streaming for an hour and 18 minutes, which is hard to believe. It only feels like it's been just about, I guess, 30 minutes. But yeah, I'm working on just to catch you up on things. I'm working on a commission right now, the Starlight Keyblade. This is the bit for it, and I have to make 2 of them because it needs to be double layered. And I have the pattern for the rest of it right over here. I was taping it together at the beginning of the stream, and well, I'll probably upload this as a video too, so you guys can see if you want to watch it later. Yeah. Sorry about the crappy camera, by the way. I'm using the integrated camera on my laptop. Well, it's not mine, it's my uncle's, but I have the camera. I have a webcam right here, and I'm actually using it to record the audio right now. Right? You guys can hear that. But I didn't really tinker with the settings too much before starting the stream. So, yeah. But that will change next time I do it, which will be next Sunday, probably. So, yeah. That's very cool, man. Thanks. Appreciate it. So, yeah, just cutting up the middle out right now, so to make it hollow. Use X-Acto knife. Go ahead and adjust the camera again. Sorry about the lighting. It's pretty bright because I've got this desk lamp on right now, and I kind of need that. So how am I doing here? Okay. I am come from Brazil. Brazil. Nice. That's awesome. Nice to know I've got some international fans. Because I just assume that everyone who watches my content lives in the United States. But it looks like we got a Brazilian man here. That's great. Love it. I am Japanese myself, but it's not because I was born in Japan or anything. I was born in Portland, and I'm still living in Portland. My mother actually came from Japan back in the 90s. shortly after meeting my father, and here we are. I've been to Japan once in the summer of 2015. Yeah, just 2 people right now. And yeah, it was great. I was there for 5 weeks, I think, and I had my 17th birthday over there. At the time, I was pretty obsessed with the whole Japanese language and culture thing. These days, I'm not super wild about it because all my time goes towards the YouTube channel and the business and stuff. Anyway, now I've got 2 of these. So I got to record for the YouTube video now. Got my camera on my tripod right here. Rotate that. So now I got to record that. I've got 2 of them because I might be doing a stream right now, but I am also recording for the videos I'm going to be making of this Keyblade. So to do that, I've got my camera here. Get my phone out of the way. All right, come on, focus, focus, focus. Come on, come on. There we go. Got it. How is life in the United States? That's a complicated question, and I can rant about it all day. I have some major complaints, but it's a whole heck of a lot better than, say, Central Africa, I guess, because I have clean drinking water. Things are not that desperate, but it's also got a huge population, which means good opportunities for entrepreneurs like myself. And yeah, but we spend too much on the military, I'll tell you that. Despite the fact that a lot of my family are veterans, including my grandfather and father, and my brother's joining the National Guard. In fact, he's staying with me at my grandmother's house here for the next 2 weeks, and he's taking off for boot camp afterwards. And he's going to be training for National Guard for, I think, like 3 months or so. And then afterwards, he's going to come back here and then move back in with my family down in Sacramento. And I have no idea what his plans are after that. My dad was actually in the Army. He served in Desert Storm. I think he was an ambulance driver, actually. I don't think he's ever actually been in like live combat. And my grandfather, who's dead now, he passed away in 2013, if memory serves. He was in the Navy. He served in the Korean War. Well, I think I already said that earlier, but yeah. Should live stream our hiking? Yeah, maybe. If there, provided there's a signal there, which I doubt there will be. Who knows? We'll see. Anyway, back to business, shall we? I got the 2 things here. Now, I already said this earlier before you 2 got here, but I don't really know how I'm going to reinforce this because 2 layers like this is kind of flimsy. I mean, it's okay, I guess, but it'd be nice if this was more rigid. And I'm going to either put a piece of metal inside or just wrap the whole thing in Warbler. But the Warbler option is kind of pricey because these are a little big. And the metal, well, I'm going to have to bend it in the shape of a star. And that also adds a lot of weight that will be hanging onto this piece right here. Although I could also just stick it through and into the PVC pipe. But I don't know yet. We will see. But for now, I will go ahead and put the sockets in with my X-Acto knife here so that there's space for it. But ultimately, if I decide to put it in or not, it doesn't matter. Or actually it does, because I have to glue these together, don't I? Yeah. And when I do, it's going to be a little tricky because of all these, like, because these aren't like perfect with one another. So I'll have to be careful about that when I tape them together, or not when I tape them, but when I glue them together. So maybe I can worry about that later. Plus, this has, if you look closely on the pattern here, you might be able to see better with the light off, but look closely, you can see some very thin lines on there that go up all the edges. This thing is beveled the entire way, so all the edges are sharp, except the very middle, which is flat. So it's going to take some time to make this, that's for damn sure. So guess the next thing to do would be to cut the PVC pipe to length. And I've got one just sitting over here. It's where did I put it? No, it's right here. It's sitting at about 5 feet in length right now, and it's just the perfect size for this Keyblade. So that's good. I was worried it was too big because this is an inch and a quarter PVC pipe, but it's actually perfect for the width of this thing. So I guess I'll go ahead and cut it to length. Probably with my table saw, which is sitting over there somewhere. Oh, I dropped my pattern. So can I leave this on something? Okay, here we go. Now, the question is, where exactly do I cut it at? Because I want it to stick all the way through the hilt here. But where do I want it to stop on this end? Let's see. I guess I can cut it. I guess I'll cut it like right in the middle here, between these two like rounded pieces. That way I can like put this top rounded piece on top of it instead of like around it. That should make it easier. So yeah, I'll do that. I don't really have a piece of equipment to measure this distance, so I'll just have to mark the pipe wherever. But I also don't have a lot of space here, so got to make it all flat. Okay. Do you draw on your own molds? You mean patterns? Because molds are quite different. Molds, here, I got a couple over here. This is a mold right here. This is a silicone mold. This cost about $10, $20 US dollars to make. So I'm going to assume you mean patterns, which is what this is. I sometimes draw them. It depends on what I'm making. If I'm like making a prop that doesn't really need to change size depending on how big a person is, then I don't really need to draw them by hand with like a Sharpie. I just do them in Adobe Illustrator, and then I open the file in InDesign. So what I do in Illustrator is I take a reference picture of whatever it is I'm making, either because the client provided it to me or I just looked it up, and then I scale that picture to the correct size. So like this Keyblade here, I had to make sure that it was 1 meter long, exactly 1 meter. Not because the client specifically asked for it to be a meter, but because it's a Keyblade, and they typically are about the same size as an arming sword, which are also about 1 meter long. Sometimes I make Keyblades that are different sizes. Like if you look at my older videos, like the Fabled Glory Keyblade, I think that one was about 1.2 meters long, or 4 feet, because it was the client wanted it to be bigger than that, and I also had to take into consideration the length of the handle, because if the whole Keyblade was just 1 meter long, the handle would have been too short to hold. So I had to scale it just big enough so that the handle was big enough, and it happened to be about 4 feet or 1.2 meters. But for the rest of my Keyblades, for the most part, yeah, they're just 1 meter long. Then I trace the whole thing with the pen tool in Illustrator, and I capture as much detail as I possibly can. And then I export that as a PDF file, and then I open it in Adobe InDesign so that I can divide it into different pages that are this big. And I think, I'm pretty sure in Brazil you use metric units. So in America, we call these ledger or tabloid size pieces of paper. In Brazil, I think it's A2 or A3. I think it's A3 size. So yeah, I print them on those, and I make sure that they have dotted lines on them, like this, up top here, so I know where to cut them. And then I just Scotch tape the whole thing together, and voila, here you go, got it. You can, the first time I did this was with my Daedric sword. Okay, here in Brazil, we don't have the, oh, okay, all right. The first time I actually printed a pattern, I think was with my Daedric sword, and let me go grab it real quick. Sorry, had to go all the way up to the top floor. This is my Daedric sword right here. And maybe I'll make another one at some point because this is a piece of junk. But the first time I printed the pattern for that was on poster paper. We have that paper here as A3. Yeah. Pretty much every country on this planet except the United States and like 2 small ones use the metric system. We use the imperial system. So instead of A3, we say tabloid or ledger size, even though the dimensions are technically different, but it's still about the same. But yeah, it's kind of dumb. Anyway, I printed that on poster paper the first time, and it cost about $20 US to print it on poster paper. And the thing is, when I print all my patterns at an office supply store, and they do not change the price of poster paper regardless of how much toner is used or whether it's black and white or color. So they charge the same for that pattern, which looks pretty much just like this with just a few black lines on it. And it costs the same as a big giant picture that's full of color. So, so to save some money, I decided to just print on A3 size and just dissect it and tape it back together. And doing that costs about, I'd say, $2 or $3 US per pattern, because usually you have to print like 2 or 3 pages worth of it. So yeah, that is the whole process. And I don't usually talk about that in my YouTube videos because it's the exact same process every single time. So just make it in Illustrator, divide it in InDesign, and then print it. So yeah, very beautiful. I think you mean beautiful. Yeah. Well, thank you. At some point, I don't know how I'm going to do this yet. I'll probably do it through Google Drive or Dropbox. I want to make all those patterns that I've made free for you guys to use. And I've talked about that in the 700 subscriber special. And that includes armor pieces that I hand drew. I have to scan those and then make digital copies of those. So, but yeah, that's going to happen pretty soon. Hey, Ricky, what's up? Woo! Looks like we got 4 people right now. That's great. So I'm making the Starlight Keyblade from Kingdom Hearts right now. I just finished cutting a couple of these stars up. This is the pattern, and these are 2 10mm pieces. So just got to glue this together now, and I also need to cut the PVC pipe. So where's my, somebody texting me? No, okay. Where's my, yeah, here it is. So got to lay this down on the surface here. And then cut it to, not to shape, but to length. Okay, let's get these tools out of the way. You guys want to see what I'm doing, don't you? There we go. And I have to record this for the YouTube video too, so just a minute. Let me get this out of here. Hope I'm keeping you guys entertained. I'm not used to talking my mouth off like this all the time. Even when I make my YouTube videos, there's a lot of dead space when I'm recording tutorials. So I just have to speak it 1 sentence at a time, and then just edit everything together. Ah, I hit the ceiling. Okay, that's recorded. Perfect. I'll turn the camera off, will you? Excuse me. Where's my Sharpie? Here it is. Okay, so we'll cut that right there. Okay, cut right about here. Okay. All right. You guys got anything to say? Whoa! Don't drop it. That could be an epic disaster, as Cassie Cage would say. I made the Faram armor from Dark Souls 2. I'm not familiar with that. Let me look that up real quick. Okay, what's it called? Faram armor. Dark Souls 2. Wow, very medieval. I love that helmet. Very cool. It's got that horseman thing on top of it. Although that's metal, not fur, like it is, say, with Oblivion's helmets that are like that. Wow, that must have taken a while, because especially with the cloth that's hanging from the belt. I don't know what the technical term for that is, but yeah. If you really did, that's awesome. I would like to see that. If you've got like an Instagram or something, I'll check it out. All right. Anyway, back to what I was doing. So I got the pipe right here. It's marked where I want to cut it, right there. So I'm going to do that over here on the vise with the hacksaw. This isn't technically my vise, it's my grandmother's, but whatever. I have my own vise, I just don't have it installed at the moment. Wait, where's my table saw? Oh, it's over there behind all the boxes. Okay, I'll just cut this with the hacksaw. Okay. Put it right there. Go ahead and move the laptop for you real quick so you guys can kind of see it. A little difficult. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to cut it right there. Okay. That's the garage door right over there. And yeah, it's just quite a popular neighborhood, so you know, I got people walking there judging me from speaking. Oh, I need to record this for the YouTube video too. Let me grab my camera. I made a tutorial video about it. The name of my channel is Corvo Matalero? Or Middleiro? I don't know. I love this helmet too. Okay. I will definitely check that out, probably after I finish the stream. We've been streaming for almost an hour and 40 minutes now. And time just flies. I guess I'm having fun right now. Because it doesn't even feel like it's been an hour yet. Okay. Oh, it's blurry. Come on. Focus, please. Thank you. All right. I need to zoom in on the mark a little bit. Come on. All right. Ha, yeah, I'm in one of those judgy neighborhoods. Yeah. I actually live pretty close to a university, and it's actually a religious one. So, yeah, that's fun. I mean, I am a Christian too, but you know how Christians can be sometimes. Anyway, let's record that and just cut it up. Hopefully I don't hit anything with this hacksaw. Okay, got it. Looks like I cut it at a bit of an angle there. It's not perpendicular, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. It's going to be concealed anyway. All right, set this aside over with all my other pipes. Okay. Oh, it's actually on top of my table saw. Okay, off with the camera. All right. That's the fun thing about cutting PVC pipes, is get all this dust. These well, it's not really dust, but it's like shavings, I guess. Anyway, add a device with you. Okay, got the pipe right here. This is going to be the skeleton of the Keyblade. You always want to be able to put something rigid in a prop if it's going to be long like this, or disproportionate, so to speak, because Keyblades and pretty much all the melee weapons are quite a bit longer than they are wide and especially thick. And foam is quite flimsy material, so you want to give it some rigidity, and the way to do that is to give it a skeleton or sometimes wrap the whole thing in Worbla, but doing that is expensive because Worbla, yeah, it's like I get a discount on it, but normally it's like $40 for a sheet that's like 2 by 3 feet, or I guess that's about 6.5 or 65 by 100 centimeters, something like that. Yeah, it's expensive stuff. Anyway, Matalero is the same of headbanger. Not sure what that means. You'll have to enlighten me. Okay, got the pipe cut. Yeah, just over an hour 40 now. Pattern's on the floor. That's fun. Luckily, this floor is really clean, because that's my grandma for you. But it's going to get dirty real fast. Okay, so got the pipe cut. Oh, yeah, I got that too. Okay. Well, we'll just keep working on the bit. I guess I can do this part of the bit next, this one here, because this doesn't really, I don't think this will need any like reinforcement. So I'll just go ahead and cut that off. And I'll record the pipe later. Anyway. Are there any like props or armor pieces in particular that you guys would like to see? Because I'm always open for suggestions, although I already have a list that has like 70 things on it. But the more the merrier, right? The Link's Master Sword has been requested a number of times. And that subscriber of mine, the guy's name's, well, his YouTube channel is called Protocons, but the guy's first name is Steven. He sure loves his Skyrim stuff, and he wants to see more Skyrim stuff. So that's definitely coming too. So anyway, we're going to do this part of the bit next. And I'll probably make this the same thickness as this part of the bit, which is two layers of 10 millimeter. So I think I have scraps that are small enough to make this too. In fact, I might have thrown some away. Nope, that's too small. Just ever so slightly too small. Yeah, okay. I'm going to have to get my actual scraps now. I don't have a whole lot, just a few, but this should be enough for at least one. Yeah, all right, got to get another one. Or I could just use this. No, that's just a little too narrow. Ah, that bites. Okay, well, I'll just use this then. That's why you want to keep your scraps, because sometimes they can come in handy, because you might have small pieces like this. So, looks like it's just you two right now, Ricky and Ryus. Make some Halo gun. I did make the Magnum a couple months back, from the Reach version of it. And in fact, you should have been here sooner. I was talking about Halo a lot, and how much I love Reach, and the fact that it's coming to PC soon. And I'll probably do some recording of the campaign, and later down the road host some custom game nights with you guys, or maybe just the patrons. Who knows? And I would love to play some of my old Forge maps with you guys, because Lord knows I had so much fun playing those. So looks like. Oh yes, ODST helmet. Yeah. So looks like you both are Halo fans. Cool. Well, in that case, yeah, I will definitely do some more Halo stuff. And I know Halo Infinite is coming out in I think December next year, 2020. Well, it said holiday, but I'm just going to assume that's December. So when that time rolls around, I might already be pretty good with the channel by then, because that's literally a year and a half from now. So we'll see. But my when I made the Magnum, I showed the video of it to my uncle, who actually works at 343, believe it or not. He's one of the I think he's one of the gameplay designers there. And I showed it to him, and then he showed it to some of his coworkers, and then they all told me that they want to see me make the battle rifle. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And given how the battle rifle is a very identifiable weapon in Halo, especially for those who are familiar with it, because that's kind of the go-to weapon when you're playing Halos 2 and 3. Yeah, I will probably make that when Halo Infinite comes out. Either that or something else that is iconic, like, say, the energy sword. But what I really would like to make is actually the needle rifle from Halo Reach, because I think Reach is the only game that weapon's in. And put some purple LED lights in it, and I'm sure my friend Ozzy would like that, because his favorite color is purple. I'm cutting up the foam for the bit, by the way. And I also would like to make the gravity hammer and a whole bunch of other weapons from Halo, because Halo is very, very cosplay friendly. And it's all going to probably be the Reach aesthetic, except for weapons that aren't in Reach, like the battle rifle. Because I think the Reach aesthetic is the best, in my opinion. Best armor customization too, by far. I mean, Halo 5's got pretty good armor customization too, but 5 also recycles stuff a lot, whereas Reach is pretty much everything's unique. Like when you reach Inheritor rank, you get that skull version of the pilot helmet, which is just awesome. Yeah, man, I was going to say the Needler would be interesting. The Needler, yeah, I was talking about the Needle rifle though, the one in Reach. And the reason, and there are actually some weapons that from Halo that you can find in Halloween stores, believe it or not. And actually, the Needler was one of them. And I think the other one I saw was the brute version of the plasma rifle, the red one. And I think that's it. I don't think I saw any plasma pistols there. And yeah, there's always costumes of Master Chief too. Although granted, those costumes are pretty much all fabric except the mask, which is plastic, and parts of the armor, which are very, very flimsy foam pieces. And I actually did dress as the Master Chief for Halloween when I was a 6th grader. That was a long time ago. I was living in Illinois at the time. I live in Oregon right now. So I got those 2 cut. So I just gotta do the middle now. Needler carbine. Yeah, that's basically what it is. I want to make the Master Chief armor. Yeah, go for it, dude. If you've got the tools and materials to do it, go for it. Lord knows everyone loves the Master Chief, right? How am I going to cut this? I guess I'll just cut it like this, I guess. So yeah, sometimes you can't really use the cutting mat to cut your stuff. Sometimes you have to cut it while it's in your hands, which is a little dangerous. Don't recommend it, but sometimes you kind of have to. Might be able to see better like that, yeah. Sorry about the camera, by the way. I have a webcam. In fact, it's right here. I have a webcam, but it's recording the audio right now, and not the video like I want it to, because I didn't really tinker around with the settings too much when I started this stream. But that'll all change next time. This is my first time streaming, so yeah, not very experienced with that. But I'm going to be doing this every Sunday from now on, probably, calling it Commission Sunday stream. Sunday's perfect for me because at my day job, we're closed on Sundays. And I am a Christian, so I do go to church on Sunday mornings, but that's in the morning. So that leaves the afternoon and evening completely freed up. And that makes for a perfect time to do streams and also for video production, which I was doing not too long ago. I was recording for the tutorial for Heirs of Scarlet Sword. As you guys know, I'm pretty far behind on the tutorials right now. I think just before I uploaded the tutorial for the MCR combat armor, there were like 5 time lapses that I hadn't made tutorials for yet. But now I'm down to 4, and tomorrow or the day after I'll be down to 3. So that'll be good. But I also got to make the videos for this Keyblade. I got to make the Infinity Sword, or whatever it's called, from Avengers Endgame, the 2-bladed one. I was going to make Stormbreaker, but it looks like a lot of people have made that already. So I thought it would be a good idea to go ahead and do Thanos' double-bladed sword instead. of Stormbreaker. And it might be too late now because the Avengers Endgame's been out for like a month and a half now, or 2 months. But couldn't hurt to try, given how insanely popular that video was, breaking world records and everything. Anyway, cutting that. Ooh, yeah. See, that's why you don't cut. That's why you don't cut with your hands like that, because if it slips, you might cut yourself. Didn't that time, fortunately. I have suffered pretty nasty cuts on my fingers before doing this stuff. It's not fun, but it's unavoidable. That's just how it goes. So yeah, Halo stuff's definitely coming. Skyrim stuff is coming. Oh yeah, and Skyrim. I would really like to make the Mace of Molag Bal and Volendrung, both of which are Daedric artifacts. And yeah, Lord knows how crazy the detail is on the Mace of Molag Bal. And I also talked to an Australian guy not too long ago, not Shadiversity, somebody else. And he was considering hiring me to make a commission for him. He decided it was too much out of his price range, but understood why I charged that much for it, because yeah, these things take a lot of time to make. But he said that if I make the ebony mace, he'll buy that. So that will probably be coming soon too. And yeah, the more I talk about it, the more excited I get about it, because I've been slacking a lot recently. Well, not really slacking, but just doing other things. Because I recently moved. I'm living in my grandma's house right now. And I'm kind of living alone. I mean, my brother's here, but he's only going to be here for 2 weeks because he's going to be shipping off to boot camp for the National Guard in 2 weeks. And after that, I'll be pretty much on my own. And but so yeah, I moved recently, but my family moved recently too. My parents and my siblings. That besides my brother, I have 2 brothers actually. So the other brother. So I had to help them move, and that was just a couple days ago. They just arrived in Sacramento, I think yesterday or earlier this morning or afternoon. So yeah, I think it was yesterday. So I had to help them with that, and yeah, that ate up a lot of time. That I pretty much spent the entire days of, I think, Thursday and Friday helping them with that. So yeah. Anyway, damn it, Shad. Yeah. I love his new intro too, and I've actually got someone, I think in Germany, working on an intro for me right now. And as soon as it's done, it's going to start presenting itself in the beginning of all my videos. Well, maybe not the time lapses, but definitely the tutorials. I already made the Stormbreaker. Did you now? Well, I'd like to see that. Well, you said you had a YouTube channel, right? If you uploaded it, I would definitely like to see that. Thanos sword looked cool. Not a bad movie. Well, I haven't actually seen the movie, so I can't agree or disagree. But yeah, the sword definitely looks cool, and also pretty simple. It's got a lot of detail on it, but it's very like geometric. So it's just a matter of cutting the shapes and gluing them together. So it shouldn't be too hard to do that. Just a little time consuming, which is fine. That's just how cosplay works. And I know that for sure because I made a set of Daedric armor in late 2017 and early 2018. The whole thing took about 8 months to make. I don't have any videos on it because I didn't start my channel yet. I started my channel about a year ago. I think like in July of 2017 was when I uploaded the Omni Wrench time lapse. And yeah, so I don't really have any video footage of me working on the Daedric armor. But at some point, I will talk about it and probably just, rant to the camera and bring up pictures of it, even though I just don't have any video footage of it, sadly. Because, yeah, that was a pain. Very proud of it, though. I still have it. I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. We'll see. Anyway, still cut. I just finished cutting the middle out of this guy. I still got to do this one. Then, yeah, there's some bevels on this, too. Okay. Almost 2 hours. Wow. Time just absolutely flies when you are streaming. And I guess the fact that I've been talking the whole time makes it go by faster too, because I am not used to talking this much because I am an introverted person and I'm very shy around people I don't know. But I guess being like not in the same room as you guys makes a difference. So, But yeah. So yeah, it's nice to talk every once in a while. But yeah, when the stream's over, which I'll probably shut down when I hit the 2-hour mark, because I have to work tomorrow morning and my day job. I'll probably work a little bit more on the tutorial for whatchamacallit, there's a Scarlet Sword, because I already recorded most of the commentary for it. It's just a little bit. There's just a little bit left to do, and then the editing process. And the editing, when it comes to YouTube videos, the editing is very volatile in how long it takes. I have made tutorial videos in about 2 hours. Some of them take 10 hours to make. So who knows? Point is, I'm going to be working on that as soon as I can. I also got to grab something to eat too. But that's going to be coming up either tomorrow or the day after, hopefully. Looks like I got 3 people right now. So yeah, now we got the 2 parts of the bit and then the star here. Now I got to record for the video, so just give me a second. But yeah. Perfect. All right, these I can probably go ahead and glue together, although it's got a bit of fuzz in the middle. I don't really know how to get rid of that, except maybe cut it out with scissors. Do I have scissors over here? Because my workshop is kind of a mess right now because I just moved here. Got scissors somewhere though. Yeah, whatever. I can go ahead and glue these together. I can clean it out later. What kind of music are you into? Do you prefer to work in silence? Actually, for the most part, I have music playing when I'm working on stuff, which is well, I guess you didn't notice because on all of the footage I record of me working here, there's no sound. I always play music behind it or I'm talking. And this was the question, long time waiting, because I could talk about music all day long. But in a nutshell, I dislike pop and rap. My favorite band is Rush, and they're pretty much the only thing I listen to on a regular basis. But I do like progressive rock. I do like classical, jazz, and the bands that are on my top list are definitely Rush for one, Pink Floyd, Queen, Genesis, Yes, Evanescence, the Dream Theater, Pearl Jam, those guys. And I also really, really like video game soundtrack, especially for Skyrim and Halo Reach, because of just how epic it is, especially Halo Reach, because the soundtrack in Halo Reach has a lot of strings in it. And they also mix in some other things, like some vocals with a choir, like say with the Overture or for, what's it called, Tip of the Spear. I really, really like that stuff. If you would like to know why I like Rush so much, it's because they are utterly unique in just about everything they do. They are not active anymore. I was lucky enough to see them on their final tour back in 2015. I'm gluing these 2 pieces together, by the way. Back when I was in high school, and that was just before I took a trip to Japan. I saw them in concert up in Seattle on their R40 tour. And it wasn't after a release of an album or anything. It was just an anniversary tour. They did that for their 30th anniversary too back in 2005. So yeah, very lucky to see that because it was their last tour. Their drummer, Neil Peart, retired. And it's very unlikely that they will do any more work, let alone go on a tour. But the reason I like them so much, yeah, because they're so unique. And by that, I mean the topics of their songs are about things that you normally wouldn't really think of. So, for example, my favorite song is called Jacob's Ladder. It's about 7 minutes long from the 1980 album Permanent Waves. I'm waiting for these to dry right now. And it's a Jacob's Ladder is when the sun creates a ray of light through the clouds. And they wrote a song about that, and that's pretty awesome. And it has biblical origins too. You know, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. So yeah, that's the topic. They've also made a song about the USS Columbia, which actually blew up in the atmosphere on its way on its descent. And the name of that song is Countdown. It's from the 1981 album Signals. The first song of theirs I heard was called Subdivisions, and it's about being a misfit, which I very much was back in the day. I still am, but yeah, very much so back then. So it's the topic, and then the lyrics themselves are just outstanding and very poetic, and you have to like really think about what they mean to understand what's saying. So like say the final stanza in Jacob's Ladder goes, "Follow men's eyes as they look to the skies, the shifting shafts of shining weave the fabric of their dreams." So very poetic stuff, unlike pop. And the music itself is outstanding too, because it's just so nice to listen to. And occasionally, or not occasionally, but every so often they incorporate elements from music outside of like rock. So their most recent album, which came out in 2012, it's called Clockwork Angels. A lot of their songs have strings in the background, you know, like violin, cello, bass. And they actually, when they went on tour for that album, they hired an ensemble of about 10 people to play the strings for them when they were playing those songs. And they also had that ensemble play the strings for some of their older songs, which didn't actually have strings in the studio versions of those songs. So, yep, that's why I like Rush. And that's also kind of why I dislike pop, because all the things that Rush gets right, pop gets wrong. Because when it comes to pop music, for the most part, it's all played with like synthesizers, drum machines. Like it doesn't really take much talent to make pop music for the most part. Like there are some vocalists that are actually very talented vocalists, like say the guys at One Direction, like their vocals are very good, and Ariana Grande's vocals are very good, but their music is just, in my opinion, very bad. That's not to say the people themselves are bad, because I don't really know anything about the people themselves, but yeah. And rap, it's just kind of monotone and generic for the most part to me. There are exceptions to all those, though, like the band Paramore. I do like some of their songs, even if they are technically pop, like the song Ain't It Fun. It's pretty funny, actually. And the music video is very unique because they just go around breaking world records and stuff that are completely random. Like they have to do a certain task a certain number of times while running backwards. So, yeah, pretty interesting. So, yeah. I can talk about them all day long. Rush, that is. So yeah, that was a long question to answer, but yeah, I guess I can afford to spend a lot of time answering a question because there's not a whole lot of people watching right now. But yeah, and if you are not familiar with Rush, I definitely recommend you check them out. And Reus, they actually visited Brazil one time during their Vapor Trails tour back in 2002, and their concerts in Brazil were the biggest concerts they ever had. I think the biggest one was about 60,000 people, whereas most of their concerts here in the United States have just a couple, like a little over 10,000, something like that. So, yeah, definitely recommend you check them out. And I think the vocalist Geddy Lee, his voice is kind of an acquired taste because it's very high pitch for a male singer. And I admit that for myself, it was a little hard to grasp at first. Okay, this is glued together now. Because when I first heard Tom Sawyer, their most popular song, I was a little turned off by it because of the vocals. But I think of it as an acquired taste. It kind of grew on me over time. And now I love them so much, I know the lyrics to about 70 of their songs. So, yeah. Yes, Paramore. Ain't It Fun is a good song. I remember the first time I heard it, I was bowling alone. Good times. Yeah. I actually first heard it when I was working at the office supply store I go to print my stuff. And that's how I learned about all the pop music that I dislike these days. Well, I just dislike, not these days, but dislike. Because they played nothing but pop. Luckily for me, at my current day job, they actually play classic rock, so that's a huge plus for me. I actually disliked pop so much that I actually looked forward to hearing the Christmas music that would play during the holiday season. And unlike just about all of my other coworkers, they felt the complete opposite way about that from me, because they hated the Christmas music, but they could tolerate the pop. For me, it was the other way around. Now, I don't really like any Christmas music except the Carol of the Bells by the Trans-Siberian Orchestra because it's just so epic. The carol itself, when sang by a choir, is kind of meh to me because it's very repetitive. But when you replace the vocals with strings and electric guitar, that just makes it awesome, in my opinion. So yeah, I got this bit done. I guess I'll go ahead and glue the star together now. It's been a little over 2 hours, but I think I can go for a little longer if you guys still want to watch. And my throat's hurting from all this talking. You might think that, well, it hurts anyway because I have to talk when I'm making a tutorial video. But usually when I record a tutorial, it only takes about 15 or 30 minutes to record the commentary for it. Because I write the script and then I just repeat it word for word. And I say them one sentence at a time. I don't say the whole thing at once like I'm improvising. I just read it and then memorize it and then say it to the camera and then just do the same thing over and over until the whole script is done. So yeah, that is how I do that. Yeah, man, stream on. Okay. Yeah. I have to be at work at like, I think 9 a.m. tomorrow. So yeah, I can stay awake for a little longer. But yeah. Yeah. And funny enough, before I discovered Rush, which was when I think I was an 8th grader when I discovered Rush, I was actually listening to Christian music a lot because I am a Christian and that's kind of the music I grew up with, you know, like Chris Tomlin, Lincoln Brewster, those guys. And I still listen to them every now and then because the music's pretty good. Although a lot of people seem to hate Christian music for some reason, despite the fact that it's, regardless of the fact whether it's religious or not. Skillet 2 is pretty good too, in my opinion. Yeah, video game soundtrack definitely up there too. Yeah, Halo Reach, Skyrim. Some of the music in the Fallout games is pretty good too. Like, I generally don't care for oldie stuff like from the 50s and 60s. Like, I know the Beatles and Rolling Stones are supposedly extremely good bands, but I don't really care for the music, in my opinion, because it's a little too soft for me. But I also don't really like heavy metal because that's just too much, too intense. Like, there are some I can listen to, but for the most part, I like the Goldilocks zone, so to speak, when it comes to music. Music that takes talent, music that is creative and original. Because, yeah, like I said with pop, another reason I dislike pop is because of the topic of their videos. It's 9 times out of 10 about romance, quote unquote. You know, if you hear a girl singing, chances are it's about a bad breakup or something about their ex-boyfriend, like Ariana Grande's "Thank You Next." Yeah, all about ex-boyfriends. It's like, dude. And oftentimes when you hear guys write about music, it's usually about their lust for a woman or how fun a relationship was or something. And it's like, guys, can't you think of anything else to write about, you know? So, yeah. I like it when you change things up a bit, do things unexpected, take risks like Rush did. So, yeah. And even go into the sensitive topics like Pink Floyd does sometimes. Yeah. I guess I still need that for the bevels. So, yeah, I guess I can carve this up and draw it and then do the bevels with my Dremel. 2 hours and 10 minutes. So, just waiting for the glue to dry on this right now. So what am I going to do next? I guess I can do this bit. This is actually where the star goes right here. So I can probably do this little piece right here next. And I think it's a diamond cross section. So that should be pretty easy to do. I'll go ahead and cut that piece off. It's also got a bit of a scoring line about this right here. This line where my index finger is. So I don't think it changes like the depth right there. So we'll see. I'll probably just score it right there with this and then expand it with the heat gun. Okay, these about dry? Yeah. All right, I'll go ahead and glue these together. I need to record this. I'll go ahead and have you guys watch too if you want. Man, it felt nice to rant about music. I very rarely get to talk about music. especially to people who care about it or asked about it in the first place. I knew this stream would be a good idea. All right, just a second. Gonna glue these together now. So, gonna be a little tricky because of how big it is, but that's okay. Yeah, I want to make sure these edges align as much as I can help it. Especially on the inside, because the inside is going to be difficult to polish up and sand with my Dremel, because I can't really reach into the points very well. Okay, now it's just to do the outsides. Now I could have just glued 2 square pieces together and then just cut it on the bandsaw, but I had to do this hollow side too. So yeah. If I had a scroll saw, I could do that, but I don't have a scroll saw. I've only got a bandsaw and a table saw, which granted are extremely useful, but sometimes tasks present themselves that neither of them can do, and you end up having to do them by hand, which is fine because most of my stuff, or all my stuff actually, is done by hand anyway. So that's the name of the game. I am a tool-assisted hand player. Okay. Adjust this a little bit. Make it aligned. And now I finally have something to send to the client, because she asked for pictures yesterday. I didn't have anything to send her yet, so but now I do. I'm going to do that after the stream, of course, but yeah. Okay, I think we're good. That captured? Yes, did. Right, now we are here. So I got the 2 bits, and it's pretty sturdy actually, even if it's just foam. So I don't think I need to reinforce this with metal or Warbler. So yeah, that is actually pretty decent. Okay, so we got the 2 bits right here, and then I got to get this connector next. And before I actually glue these to the pipe, which I have right here, I need to wrap the top of it in some thinner foam, like 2mm, I think, because it's a little thicker here than it is the rest of the haft. Just a little bit though. So yeah, either with 2mm or 4mm. And then of course there's this circle, or the sphere, and this truncated cone to do as well. I don't have any spheres this big. So I'll probably have to go down to the craft store and get a styrofoam sphere this big, because making spheres out of EVA foam is a real pain in the butt. So I'd rather just get manufactured ones that are that size. So we'll do that. We'll do that later. I'll probably pick them up tomorrow after work. But yeah, so we got the 2 bits there. Now the connectors next, I guess. And then maybe if I keep streaming, we can do the bevels for both bits. So we'll set those aside. Now we'll get this out. Now this is diamond cross section, so I guess I can get away with making this the same thickness as the bits over there. So let me get some scraps. I have some here in the garbage. Now usually you don't want to throw scraps away, especially if they're only this big, because most of the time you don't really get any use out of them. But in the case of this, you do. Perfect. This is too small. Yeah, get another one like that. Perfect. And I guess this I can cut on the bandsaw, because there's no hole in the middle. So I'm going to just glue these together, and then copy the pattern, and then cut on the bandsaw. So let's go ahead and glue these together now. No new chats. Okay, I'll just keep going then. If any of you guys are cosplayers, I highly, highly recommend you get yourself a glue pot. They're I think they're about $50 US, or 45 to be specific, but they're extremely useful. And before I got one, I actually started out with little glass jars of this contact cement that were like $3 US a piece. But the brushes that came with them were so garbage because they always detached from the lids that they came with. And Not only that, but you don't even get your full money's worth out of those, because by the time you use up about 60% of the glue in those jars, it dries up on you. So yeah, and I was getting real sick of that. So I then started buying like big cans of this contact cement, and they're like about 12 US dollars a piece. Do I have any? Yeah, I got one right here. I'm going to show you. Yeah, this guy right here. And I just pour this in the glue pot. Before I got the glue pot, I would just use like 50-cent disposable brushes and dip it in here and then apply it. But I'd have to do that every single time I wanted to apply glue. And that just felt really wasteful to me. So I decided to go ahead and bite the bullet and spend $50 to get a glue pot. No regrets, because other than that, my box knife, this is probably the tool I use the most out of anything I have. So if you're going to spend $50 for a tool for cosplay purposes, definitely get a glue pot. And the other thing I would recommend you get is a Dremel, which I don't have plugged in right now, because it just makes sanding and adding bubbles so much easier than doing them by hand with sandpaper. Because doing them with sandpaper, oh my God, that takes forever, and it's super tedious. Unless, of course, you work with insulation foam, which I also don't recommend, because contact cement actually corrodes in insulation foam. So you have to use wood glue, which I have some right here. But the thing about wood glue is it takes all night to dry, and you have to clamp the two pieces together. And I do not like that. One huge advantage that contact cement has over all the other adhesives except super glue is it dries in a matter of minutes. And that's a huge plus in my book. So, and luckily, contact cement does not corrode EVA foam, which is what this is. It does corrode insulation foam, and it does corrode styrofoam, which is why I don't use those. I do use styrofoam spheres sometimes, but if I'm going to use those, I cover them in Mod Podge first, like 4 coats. And Mod Podge actually sticks to contact cement pretty well. So, yeah. But it's very rare when I do that. I only do it when I have spheres, and I don't make props that have spheres all that often. So, okay, now this I have to record with my camera for the YouTube video. Good idea. If it reduces waste, it's worth having. Oh yeah, for sure. Believe me, if I was still using disposable brushes instead of this glue pot, I probably would have spent hundreds of dollars on disposable brushes. So yeah, so it's expensive in the short run, but in the long run, absolutely worth doing. No question. All right, let me record this now. I am live streaming is so fun. I had no idea it was going to be this fun. Even if there's only 2 people watching right now, it's very fun. It's going to be well worth it later down the road when hundreds of people are watching. That is the goal. I want the channel to grow as much as possible. It'll probably be a very long time before it hits 1 million subscribers, but I don't think I need 1 million to be satisfied. Oh, I need to cut on the bandsaw. But I do want to make a career out of this channel. So if live stream is the name of the game, I'm down. All right, now I got to set up my bandsaw. I haven't touched it since I put it here. So I got to plug it in and get it set up and everything. Shouldn't take too long though. Yeah, I don't want the wires there. I want them far away from the blade. It's wobbling. That's no good. Although with such a small piece like this, I guess that's not a huge deal. Okay. And raise the guard so that it's just high enough to cut the blade, or to cut the foam. Okay, there we go. That's not wobbling anymore. All right, this I have to record. I guess I'll just leave my laptop here because it's not super spectacular. But I will move this because you guys. Oh, you did. This is not a good place for my desk lamp. That's for sure. Okay. Sorry, hold on a second. I gotta readjust this. Why is it doing that? Here we go. Now it's tightening. Good. There's still a little space for this to clamp onto. I just got to live with it. Okay, right there. That's good. All right, I'll be with you guys in just a second. I just need to cut this up. Shouldn't take too long. 2 hours, 20 minutes. Wow. Maybe we'll hit 3 hours. I definitely have to get off at that point, though, because by then it'll be midnight for me. And, yeah, I definitely need to wake up early to go to work tomorrow. Okay, that's not good lighting at all. Yeah, I definitely need to move this desk lamp elsewhere. But I guess I'll just hold it for now. All right, got it. Sweet. Here's the piece right here. I just got to give it the diamond cross section. Okay. So it's just one person watching right now. It's probably you, Ricky. Okay. Let's put this desk lamp back. Oh, don't fall. Don't fall. Sorry, just a second. Have you thought about investing in a Dremel? I've already got one. Definitely a worthwhile investment, though, because I use that tool all the time, especially for adding bevels and smoothing edges, especially if it's like things that are stacked, like these. Like I'll definitely have to touch up these edges with that Dremel. So, ew, get off. So yeah, Dremel, glue pot, those are definitely worthwhile investments if you're going to do cosplay. No question about it. And I'm super happy to have those tools. Okay, hold on a second. Come on, come on. Maybe I'll just try it like this instead of at an angle like before. There we go. There we go. That should be good. Okay. So I got the bit. And this is going to glue to the star right here, like that. But I got to put all these bevels in, which is going to take some time, which means I need to tie my hair back. And you probably haven't seen me without the hat. Do I have a hair tie around here somewhere? I had a whole band of them somewhere. Up here, maybe? Or I just saw it not too long ago. Now I got to put my respirator on too, because Yeah, using a Dremel generates dust. You don't want to be inhaling that stuff. It's not part of your head after all. Nope. It's just a Davy Crockett hat that I got at Lost Lake a couple years ago. Where is my freaking hair ties at? I just saw them. Yeah, it's pretty rare you'll see me without my hat because I pretty much always wear one, even indoors. Because I just love my hats, and I feel like literally like naked without one. So sometimes you have to take it off, like when you're at work or when you need to tie your hair back when you got long hair like me. Because I look super goofy with short hair. And the last time I had short hair was when I started my senior year in high school, which was in 2015. So 4 years ago. I've had long hair for 4 years. And it's also the first time in my life it's been like that because my hair's been short for pretty much my entire life. So even like I even had a buzz cut at one point. So seriously, where are all my freaking hair ties at? Oh, here they are. But that was when I was like a first grader. So yeah. Almost 2.5 hours now. Fastest 2.5 hours of my life. All right, respirator. Okay, well, first I actually need to cut the bevels with the box knife, and yeah, I guess I have. Yeah. So I guess I'll do that first. But there's also a bit of a flat surface on the star. So I got to take that into account. So I'm going to cut out, I'm actually going to do the small bit first, which is this one. Yeah, man, I rocked the buzz cut for a while. Girlfriend changed that. She prefers me with hair. Yeah. Most girls do, as far as I know anyway. I've never had a girlfriend myself, but as far as I know. Yeah. Everyone's got their own preferences. Okay, so yeah, I guess I'll do this one first. So was that okay? No, that I need to look up. I don't remember if that is flat or beveled either. So Starlight Keyblade. Very happy my internet connection's holding up because this laptop is connected with Wi-Fi, and it's the router is on the 3rd floor, and I'm in the basement right now. But that's, yeah, I'm happy it's the stream is okay, it seems. Okay, looks like that's flat. Oh, so is that diamond too? Why did I make it like that? I guess, huh. So it looks like that bit is a diamond cross section. Interesting. Or then why is it colored like that is the question. So what should I do? Should I make it flat with an edge and give it like interior bevels, or should I make the whole thing a diamond cross section? I think I'll give it an edge and an interior bevel. So I thought this thing was actually a diamond cross section. So from here, it's supposed to look like a diamond, or that's what it looks like it's supposed to be. I thought it was just completely flat with bevels on these thin lines here. So I think I'm going to do it like that anyway, even though it's technically a diamond cross section, because I think that looks better. But if not, then I can just make another one. So. All right, let's cut this up then. Now, do I need to record anything? No, I'll just record when I'm transferring the pattern. Sounds good to me, yeah. Sometimes you have to make judgment calls. Even if it's a commission. Because for the most part, the clients are not super picky about it, which is nice. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. Or most of the time they're not, but sometimes they are. I've even had a guy ask me to make one of these. This is a Daedric sword from Skyrim. If you've seen me in any of the Sakura-Con videos, you might recognize it. Somebody about 2 years ago, they asked me to make one of those for them for, I kid you not, $20. Just a flat 20. People, gosh. I had to kind of lecture him and tell him that, well, yeah, it's probably $20 for the materials. That would probably cover the cost of the foam, the paint, and maybe the metal that goes inside. But when it comes to making something by hand, the majority of the cost comes from the labor and the time, because these things are, yeah, it is way too low. Do I have scissors? I have 2 pairs. I just don't know where they are. Oh, I've got one upstairs. I'll be right back. But yeah, I'll talk to you about that in a second. Anyway, yeah, I had to lecture him, let him know that, yeah, it takes a lot of time and finesse to make these things, especially something with the detail that this has with the toothy edge, and if you look closely on the spine here, all that detail, and the guard here, echo, and the handle. A lot of detail in this thing. It's not cheap. The material itself might be cheap, but the labor is not. Which is part of the reason why, like, say, auto mechanics, like, they charge like $100 an hour or something like that to fix a car, even though the part that they need probably only costs like $50. And they end up charging you hundreds of dollars. It's because of labor. Very nice. Yeah, thanks. I disagree, though, because that sword I made, I think in 2017, like late 2017. So if I made another one, it would be infinitely better than that, because it's, yeah. I'll go ahead and tell you one thing that's wrong with it. The tip here doesn't have any Warbler on it, which is a huge fail on my part, because when you're making swords, you want to reinforce the tips with Warbler, but because of that, it's very bendy, and it actually tore right there. See that? But yeah, I mean, it looks nice from a distance, but when you take a closer look, then yeah, lots of room for improvement on that. So, and well, I haven't made a YouTube video on it yet, so maybe later down the road I will make another one and do a pair of YouTube videos on that too. So, and yeah, Lord knows my buddy Protocons will very much appreciate that, because he's a huge Skyrim fan. All right, so cut the pattern like that now. So it's just a matter of getting them bevels on there. Okay. I should probably smooth the edges first before I do that. So I'll go ahead and put on my respirator and do that. Oh, I need to put my apron on too. Lord knows when you use a Dremel, the dust gets everywhere. But you don't want it on your shirt if that can be helped. Especially if you're wearing this shirt to work at a day job where they actually care about how you look. Anyway, I'm going to go silent on you for a minute, even though I can talk through this. It's very muffled, though. Oh, looks like we got 2 viewers now. Oh, just over 2.5 hours. There we go. Okay, yeah, my voice is quite a lot less loud, quieter with this thing on. So I'll try to make this brief. I gotta plug my Dremel in and smooth the edges on this, and then we'll add the bevels to it. All right, not bad, not bad. Take this off for now. Set that right there. Okay, pretty smooth. So let's go ahead and mark where the bevels go. Okay. A little too bright. Mr. Everything and More. Hey, what's up? How you doing? A little late to the party. We've been streaming for a little over 2.5 hours now, but I'm going to try and reach for 3. I just got here. What are you making? I am making the Starlight Keyblade from Kingdom Hearts. It's actually I don't have the whole pattern put together, but here's the bit, the front bit, and here's the back bit. And then the rest of the pattern I have right over here. So there's the hilt, and then the haft right here. So this is going to be put together for a pair of videos as usual for the channel. But it's also a commission for a client. So when I finish it, it's going to be sent to her. And yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Ever since I started, I originally had the pattern actually in raw form, and by that I mean I had them on freshly printed paper like this. This is the Omni 12,000, another commission. So I dissected the pattern and then scotch taped it all together, and then dissected it again into pieces like this. And since then, I've made the bit for the star. I still have to put all the bevels on it, and then the back bit. And I also cut the PVC pipe to length. It's about just a little under a meter long. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I also, a little earlier today, I was working on the tutorial for the Heirs of Scarlet sword. And I finished recording most of it. There's still a little bit of recording left to do. But let's see. Yeah, some recording and then the editing, which I will probably finish tomorrow or the day after. I have a shift at my day job tomorrow, so I may not have time to do the whole thing tomorrow. But I'm going to try. And yeah, if not tomorrow, then the day after. I built an NCR armor and vest because you inspired me. Well, that's good to know. Thanks, man. I don't know if you know already, but I give people shout outs when they send me pictures of stuff that they've made that's been inspired by my content. So if what you say is true, send me pictures of it through Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and I will give you a shout out at the end of the video. So yeah, I love the NTR armor. Yeah, I do too. I still have it. It's upstairs. Yeah, that was a fun costume to make. So yeah, that's what's going on right now to keep you up to speed on things. So right now, I just finished smoothing the edge of the back bit, so that now I can actually put bevels on it, which is what this piece of paper is for. Where's my shirt? Here it is. Is this the old one? Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna put the bevels on it. Just right about there. I'm gonna mark where the things go first, though. Sometimes you can do this kind of thing by eye, but it always helps to be as prepared as you can, especially when you want things to be precise like this. Go away, fly. You got to do the back side too. Okay. All right, cool. So got them marked now, like so. Welcome, Gothic Wolf. You're a little late to the party, but I'll stick around for about 20 more minutes. It's going to be midnight soon, and I need to go to bed because I have a day job shift tomorrow. I just got here. What do you mean? Mine doesn't look as good as yours. I don't care, man. Send me pictures anyway. You don't. It's not a competition. If you make it, that's all that counts. Are you going to make a tutorial on how you made the duster coat over your NCR armor? Good question. I was actually recording the footage when I was sewing the duster, but it got so tedious and repetitive that I decided not to do it because it was all the same thing over and over again. But I did take it to SakuraCon back in April, and I am working on a video telling you guys the story of what happened up there. It was pretty bipolar. Like the first few days were meh, and then the last day, Sunday, was a day to remember. It was awesome. So when I make that video, I'll also talk about how I made the duster, because it was actually the first time I sewed something together with fabric. Because yeah, everything I made so far has just been foam and Warbler, and very rarely with fabric. I have used some fabric before for costumes, but they were just like basic running stitches with by hand and with a needle. But that duster I actually made with a sewing machine, which was a pretty new thing for me at the time. Now I have a little more experience, so I can talk about it a little bit more. But yeah, when I make the video talking about what happened at SakuraCon, yeah, I will talk about the duster. I don't think I'm going to make a full video on it though. I might, or maybe later down the road when I do the duster coat again, because the one I have right now is a single layer of cloth that isn't really well finished. But cosplay is a very learn as you go experience. So when now that I've done it once, I can do it again, and the second time I do it, it'll be significantly better. And because of that, yeah, it's possible I'll make a video on it, but unlikely. Just because when you make something with fabric, it's basically the same thing over and over again. But we shall see. We will see. I don't know for sure, but it's possible. Okay, so yeah, mark those. You're my favorite cosplayer. Well, that's the first I've heard that. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Of all the cosplayers on this planet, I mean, there's Punish Props, there's Commonly Cosplay, there's Evil Ted, and you decide I'm your favorite? Well, that is just awesome, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you. All right, so yeah, about 15 more minutes, then I'm getting off. So yeah, mark the things. Now I got to just do the bevels real quick. So that I do need to record with my digital camera for the YouTube video. They're for the time lapse. Well, for both of them actually. So just a second, I'll get back to you guys when I'm done. Stick around. You guys might be asking questions right now. I'll answer them when I'm done with this. Okay. Got to put my respirator on too. Right here. Okay. I'm gonna let you guys watch. A little hard to see because this disc lamp is super bright, but I need it for the digital camera up here. All right, that's good enough for the video. I'm going to do the inside ones now, but I need to change the bit for that to get a smaller one. So I guess I can answer now. 4 people watching. Sweet. I think that's the most I've seen so far, although we did have 6 at one point. So, yeah. Whatever you choose to do, know that I will be watching with great interest. Yeah, that's awesome. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, there's quite a lot of different paths I can take, and I have a lot of ambitions and plans for the future. So yeah, we'll see where it takes us, huh? I would love to do some collaborations with other big YouTubers too later down the road. That would be great. So let's cut the fuzz off. Where can I get the templates? I am working on making those freely available to my viewers. I don't have that set up yet. I'm probably going to do it either through Dropbox or Google Drive. I don't know for sure yet, or who knows? I might set up my own website. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to make all those templates available to you guys. It's just not up right now. But yeah, and that's going to include all the templates that I've hand drawn, like for my Daedric armor, for example, or for my Ranger helmet. So yeah, that's coming soon. I don't know when, I don't know how yet, but it's coming. And it kind of bugs me when people like charge for patterns, because patterns don't really take a whole lot of time to make. Well, for props anyway. For apparel, it's different. And well, Punish Props gives you the patterns for free. SKS Props gives you the patterns for free. So maybe I should too. Anyway, got the bevels on here. A little hard to see. They'll be more identifiable once I actually paint this thing. I still got to do the inside though, which be a little tough, I guess. So yeah, I'm just going to change the bit. 10 minutes left. Where did I keep my Dremel bits? Up here, there. Woohoo! Yeah. I think you guys will find those pretty handy if you're cosplayers yourselves. I understand not all of you are cosplayers, because my channel is not really meant for just cosplayers. If it was, well, I don't think it'd be as popular as it is. It's supposed to be entertaining and helpful at the same time. So it's supposed to reach to cosplayers because it's helpful for them, but it's also supposed to reach to people who don't do cosplay, so it's entertaining for them. And yeah, even a number of my personal friends watch my YouTube channel, but they don't have an interest in cosplay at all. And they told me that they don't watch it just because they know me personally. They watch it because it's entertaining and it's, well, funny. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but yeah, I am good. Cosplay is a fun hobby, and in my case, a profession. But yeah. So is that about even? Yeah, I think so. Maybe a little more, but okay. So I'll cut this off now. It's going to be a little tricky to do that though. So I did the outside bevels. Now I just got to do tiny inside bevels. And I think I'm going to try and cut them off with the X-Acto knife and then smooth them with the Dremel with this smaller bit. It can get annoying sometimes. Yeah, it can, and kind of tedious too, especially when you get into mold making. Because when I first started it, like I have silicone over here, and yeah, here's a mold I have for the gems on the Elder Scrolls. Only for the 4-foot ones though. The mold itself isn't that hard to make, but it's when you get to the castings when it becomes a pain in the butt. Because you have to add just the right amount of catalyst so that the castings are not tacky when you touch them, or not too much catalyst so that the things crack. And every single time I make a casting of something, the first time it happens, it's tacky, and it really, that's so annoying. But yeah, trial and error, name of the game. That's how it goes. Just got to deal with it. I need to sharpen this. Where's my sandpaper? 120, 220. That's the one I want. All right. So little tip for you guys if you want. X-Acto knives and box cutters, yeah, you could just replace the blade when they get dull. But if you want to make your blades actually last longer, get some 220 grit sandpaper and then just do this. Make sure the edge is facing, so yeah, when you're, just do it like this. But the edge is facing this direction. So the edge is facing this way, right? So you want to pull away from the edge, not towards it. And you want to do this about 8 times on each side. During the first run, then 6 times. And then 4 times, and then 2 times. And then get rid of the dust, but be careful not to cut yourself. And there you go. Good as new. Well, almost. It dulls a little bit faster when you do that, but you save quite a lot of money on the blades when you sharpen them yourself with sandpaper. Like a strop? I don't know what that means. When do you do live streams? This is actually my very first live stream. I've never done it before, which is part of the reason why the camera is so bad, because I have a webcam right here, and it's a lot better than the one this laptop has, but I didn't really tinker around with the settings too much. So it records the audio, but it doesn't record the video. The laptop camera records the video. And also the lighting in here is not the best, so yeah. So I'm going to try and do them every Sunday from now on if I can. And it could be anything. It could be just me making a commission, or it could be me making something for a video. And in today's stream, in the case of today's stream, it's both. This is a commission, but I'm also making a couple of YouTube videos for it. And the reason I'm doing it on Sunday is, well, my best friend is only free on Sundays, but also the company I work at for my day job is closed on Sundays. And I am a Christian. I go to church on Sunday mornings, but that's Sunday morning. Which means the afternoon and evening are completely freed up. So I use that time to make videos, make commissions. So why not kill 2 birds with 1 stone and do live streams as well? So yeah, for the most part, Sunday nights, it might change, it might not, I don't know. So we're just kind of getting dipping our toes in the water right now, and just doing it on Sunday afternoons, or evenings in this case. I started at I think 9:30 or so, a little earlier than that. It's just past midnight now. I live in Portland, Oregon, in the continental United States. And the original plan was to have this stream only be 2 hours long, but Ricky here asked me to keep going. So now we're up to almost 3 hours. But I do have to stop at 3 hours because I have to work tomorrow. So yeah, every Sunday, that's the plan. It might change, it might not, but that's the plan right now. Anyway, I gotta cut these bevels off now. I've always wanted to do live streams because I like the idea of like engaging with my viewers and answering your questions and whatnot, and in some cases giving you helpful advice for cosplay. So yeah. And later down the road, when the channel grows, I might do streams of gaming, not by myself, because I'm not very good at commentary for gaming, but I want to host custom game nights with my patrons, maybe my viewers too, but yeah, the plan is just the patrons right now. And the custom game nights can be anything. They can be Halo Reach, which by the time my channel's big enough to do that, it'll be out on the PC. Could be Overwatch, could be Call of Duty, it could be Minecraft. We will see. Could be Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. I don't know. Ideally, games that have a lot of players, and sometimes games that only have a dozen players, or maybe just a 1v1 kind of thing, like Keep Talking Nobody Explodes. But yeah, I would really like to do that at some point. I might do those on Sundays too. It kind of depends on the schedule. Although it's very possible by the time that rolls around, the channel will be big enough to the point where I can do it full time, which is the goal right now. And I don't have to work a day job, so I might bump up to doing live streams twice a week. Sundays I'll do commission streams, and I don't know, Thursdays will be gaming streams. Who knows? It's a big question mark right now. I have no idea what's going to happen because it's pretty far in the future, and things are pretty in the air right now. But yeah, that I would really like to do. A strop is a tool used for straightening the burr on an edge. Okay. I'll have to look into that because that could be useful. Because sometimes I do work with hard materials like acrylic. Not often, but sometimes. I'll be back, said like the Terminator. Well, by the time you're back, I'll probably be done with the stream because I have to get off in 2 minutes. Trivia with Rick. Yeah. That'd be interesting. But yeah. Definitely pushing to make the channel a career, a full-time job. And pretty big too. It'll probably be a long time before we hit 1 million subscribers, but that is the ultimate goal. And well, when we do reach that point, then who knows what the next goal will be. I don't think I'll ever get to like 20 or 10 million. But I mean, I don't really think I'll get to 1, let alone 10 or 20. But yeah, just enough to live off of is good enough for me. Any surplus after that will probably go to reinvesting back in the channel and giving back to you guys, or going to charity, that kind of thing. How do you make money off YouTube? I don't right now. I do make stories for amino apps. What's up, ODST? You're really late. I'm gonna quit in a couple minutes here. Why not to put together a playlist for next Sunday and have it burble in the background? Not a bad idea. I might try that. So YouTube, you can do a lot of things with YouTube. And you might have noticed that a lot of the bigger YouTubers have been complaining about the adpocalypse, and that's because they make their income completely reliant on the ad revenue that they generate through their YouTube videos, which is just about the least effective way, or at least efficient way, that you can make money off through YouTube. Because you're dependent on whether or not your video actually gets monetized based on the guidelines that the advertisers use, and the advertisers are super, super sensitive about what you do. So you're more likely than not going to get demonetized anyway. And even if your video is monetized, you only make about $1 per 500 views. So in order for you to actually make a living off of just ad revenue, your videos have to consistently get hundreds of thousands of views. And that's really hard to do. Even for big YouTubers, that's hard to do, except for like PewDiePie. All of his videos are guaranteed to get at least 1 million views. But what you can do is look at your YouTube channel from a business perspective. So like, do things like Patreon, channel merchandise, information products, the YouTube join system, sponsorships, that kind of thing. Those generate a lot more revenue for you than YouTube by itself does. So yeah, but just through YouTube's ad revenue, very ineffective, and I will probably not even monetize my content just because it's so fishy. So yeah. I do have a Patreon page if you guys want to go support it. I have like 6 patrons right now, and I'm generating about a little over $100 a month, which for a channel my size is actually pretty incredible, and I'm very grateful for that. And it'll definitely grow. And as the number of patrons grow, the benefits for those patrons will grow as well. I want to give the patrons more benefits later down the road. One of them being a prop giveaway every month. So when it's worth doing, a certain tier and all the tiers above it will be given access to a monthly drawing for a giveaway for a prop. And it could be anything. It could be, hell, I don't know. This Daedric sword right here. And I do have a couple of props I want to absolutely get rid of. Like my Splinter Strike pickaxe from Fortnite, because I can't sell that. So I don't play Fortnite, and so I don't want it, but I can't sell it. So the only thing I can really do is give it away. But I want to wait until that's worth doing before I actually do it. So yeah. All right. So yeah, looks like we just passed 3 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and call it quits now. I know you just got here, ODST. I'm sorry about that, but assuming YouTube recorded this for me, I'm going to upload this whole stream, and then you can watch it from the beginning if you want. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Playlists are cool. Hey, Katarina, it's good to see you here. You're in my Discord server. Yeah, playlists are cool. So yeah, I'm gonna call it quits here. You wanted to see the whole yeah, I know, I'm sorry. But Katarina, I just told the guys that already hear this, but I'm going to stream every Sunday night, starting at about 9:30, if I can help it. And the streams are going to be 2 to 3 hours long. Sometimes I'll have to work at my day job on Mondays. Sometimes not. In this case, I do have to work tomorrow. Well, technically today. It's past midnight now. But yeah, tune in next week, okay? So yeah, and like I said, if YouTube recorded this, then I will upload it too. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys, and I will see you next time. The tutorial for Heirs of Scarlet Sword is going to be uploaded tomorrow or the day after. Depends on how long the editing process takes. So yeah, that's what's next. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.